Chapter 717. This ranking was based on the essence of the soul. This made Dongbua Shui Ying's heart waver. He lowered his head and drank, occasionally chatting with Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master and Monarch Destruction. The entire feast was bustling with excitement. Powerful existences were exchanging toasts and chatting merrily. Powerful existences from the deity world and abyss have all gathered here. It has been a long time since such a scene has appeared. That's right. If not for ruler Monarch Green sending out invitations, many powerful existences would not have come. Powerful existences had weird tempers. For instance, those who lived in seclusion would not participate in any grand event. But for a ruler to personally send an invitation, they could not afford to lose face. Furthermore, there was a barrier between the dark abyss and the deity world. Few powerful existences from the dark abyss would attend the birth of a ruler in the deity world, and vice versa. But by sending out invitations, everyone could only attend. Thus, it became a rare grand event. More than 300 ordinary, powerful existences were present. Some of them were old fellows who had lived in seclusion for a long time. Jing Xiu, Dongbuyu, Dongbu Qingyao, and other world deities were all excited. So many powerful existences? They had never heard of some powerful existences before. Such a grand scene is rare indeed. Not only are powerful existences gathered, there are even 10 rulers. With the birth of 10 rulers, this is a brand new stage for our cosmos epic. Amen, there are 10 rulers now. Many cultivators who were participating in this feast felt their hearts surging. They felt that they would be lucky to see such a scene once in their lives. At the highest point, the 10 rulers were seated there, chatting and laughing. Naturally, the central character this time was ruler Monarch Green. Primal, Monarch Green has become a ruler. You have to think about how to rearrange your cosmos deity demon list. Abyss Primogenital laughed. My head hurts. Primal Master held onto his wine cup, shaking his head helplessly. The previous time was when we were dealing with the base of the ancestor mother religion. Old Brother Pang, he had personally acted, allowing me to peek a little. Currently, Monarch Green has yet to act, so how would I know how strong he is? Either Monarch Green takes the initiative to display your techniques, or you have to wait for Monarch Green to act. Monarch Black, show me what you've got, Pantheon Palace Master said with a smile. Yes, let us see your current strength. Bloody Ruler Nile laughed. What are you looking at? Empress Qian, he laughed. Look again. Nile, you are still at the bottom. Bloody Ruler Nile immediately shouted. Empress Qian, you still dare to mock me? You're only one rank higher than me. One rank higher is still one rank higher. Empress Qian, he said proudly. Blood Dominator Nile curled his lips. Everyone is here now. Qing Jun, who was sitting in the middle, smiled and said, Then I won't dampen everyone's mood. I'll show you a thing or two. His voice was undisguised and spread throughout the banquet venue. For a moment, all the powerful existences, even the world deities who had the opportunity to attend the banquet, and even the attendants by the side, turned their heads to look. Dongbua Shuang turned around as well. A look of shock appeared on his face. Take the initiative to reveal his strength? This senior brother of his was much more ostentatious than before. Immediately, the other sovereigns watched expectantly. Bloodblade even grinned as he watched. The many cultivators below also raised their heads to watch. Qing Jun simply stretched out his palm. His palm was sparkling like jade, and the lines on his fingers were like deep ravines. He clenched his fist and punched out towards the void in front of him. A huge golden fist appeared in the distant void. It was dazzling, and the power it emitted caused Dongbua Shui Ying's heart to twitch. This golden fist seemed to be the most dazzling existence in the world, even more dazzling than the distant sun star. Of course, this was just a misconception. After all, the sun star was too far away from here. However, the power of this fist was undeniably terrifying. The void suddenly collapsed and was destroyed. The golden fist's power did not leak out in the slightest. After completely collapsing the void, the golden fist disappeared without a trace. Such a terrifying power, and he was still able to control it without any leakage. There wasn't even a trace of aftershock. Donghua Shui was speechless as he watched. "I've made a fool of myself." Qing Jun smiled, but the other sovereigns present understood how horrifying this fist was. "It seems that I have to properly consider your ranking and Peng Yi's to see who is higher." Primal Master had a bitter expression. "Naturally, Monarch Green is higher." Peng Yi gently said. "Ruler Peng Yi has created a new cultivation technique, and he has to open up every single step by himself. His improvement is naturally slower, but it is also more stable and formidable." Monarch Green said, "I might still have an advantage after breaking through, but as time passes, Ruler Peng, you will definitely leave me far behind by relying on the cultivation technique he created." The sovereigns were discussing amongst themselves, and Bloody Ruler Nile was also flattering by the side. After all, he was the weakest on the surface and had always been ranked at the bottom. Peng Yi and Monarch Green were not any weaker than him before becoming rulers. He was absolutely the weakest ruler. Some apex paragons like White Sovereign King and Water Devil King did not care about this ruler. Ruler Nile was flattering while contacting religious leader. In the cultivator cosmos, in the territory of the ancestor mother religion, within an ancient towering palace hall, a huge fanged hunk was seated cross-legged wearing a few pieces of rags. Most of his skin was exposed, and his greenish-brown skin was like a rock. His eyes were deep, as if there was a vast galaxy within them. His ugly face had a comforting energy to it, making everything around him feel warm and cheerful. His gaze was currently looking afar, and an image appeared in midair in this palace hall. It was a huge void twin extreme array that was currently enveloping the starry sky. It was probing wantonly. Because the power of this array was too great, the ancestor mother religion could not see what was within the array. They could not even see the controller of this array, Bloodblade. Religious leader. A contact was transmitted over. Religious leader Nico. The huge fanged hunk chuckled in reply. "Why are you contacting me after attending the banquet of that Monarch Green?" Previously, Monarch Green displayed his strength slightly, and it is similar to what we expected. He should be slightly stronger than Peng Yi, and is comparable to Primal Master and Abyss Primogenitor. Ruler Nile transmitted. Furthermore, he has only broken through in one of the Daos, reaching the Eternal Realm. As time passes, he might break through in the other two Daos. By then, his strength will increase even further. It is indeed within our expectations. He has 3 Daos. Which one did he break through in? The huge fanged hunk asked. It's the Tao of Mountain. Ruler Nico transmitted. Its power is vast and grand. It is quite extraordinary. Ha! The Tao of Mountain? How can this cultivator cosmos compare with us in terms of strength? The huge fanged hunk laughed. I can suppress him in terms of strength. Ruler Nile transmitted, but he is formidable in survival and escaping. We can't underestimate him. The huge fanged hunk said, even though he is troublesome, the war is approaching. We no longer have the time to let him grow stronger. Our greatest threat is still that Bloodblade. Ruler Nile turned silent for a moment before asking, "Are we really going to start the war?" Chapter 718. The eyes of the huge fanged hunk were filled with worry. It isn't us who wants to start a war. It's Bloodblade. It's the cultivator cosmos that wants to start a war. They are forcing us. Currently, Bloodblade is using a void array to search through every single area. That array is incredibly powerful, and if we allow it to continue, he will eventually discover where we are hiding. He will discover the cosmos passage that connects to our cosmos. This cosmos passage is our lifeline. We have to protect it at all costs. The moment we're discovered by them, we will be forced into a decisive battle. The huge fanged hunk said. Ruler Nile became silent. Yes, the Bloodshed God Emperor was investigating every single location. He would not miss a single spot, and they would eventually discover him. Ruler Nile transmitted. Now is not the time to start a war. We have yet to grasp much of the cultivation system of the cultivator cosmos, and our strength has not increased by much. Furthermore, We have not collected many precious materials, and not many religious leaders have emerged. By relying on those precious materials from the cultivator cosmos, we have already produced 3 new religious leaders. The huge, fanged hunk frowned. We need to collect more precious materials, but Bloodblade and the others have always been vigilant. If we were to collect them too crazily, we will only be exposed. Amen. Bloodblade has already begun collecting large amounts of materials in the dark. Many materials are hard to collect. Ruler, Nile said. Bloodblade. The eyes of the huge fanged hunk were filled with killing intent. Being the strongest religious leader in the Ancestor Mother religion, he was extremely wary of that Bloodblade. And Igu, our hometown cosmos has already entered the final stage of collapse. Our clansmen are struggling at death's door. We are even lacking in cultivation resources. There are clearly 9 protectors who have broken through in their realms, yet we do not have sufficient resources for them to become religious leaders. The huge fanged hunk shook his head. We can still rely on this half-collapsed cosmos to survive. But the moment it completely collapses, all sentient beings will be exterminated. None of our Ancestor Mother religion has taken that step. Thus, we have to occupy the cultivator cosmos. Our clansmen will begin reproducing after entering, and the new generation will be the life forms of this cosmos. We will receive the protection of this cosmos, and we can enjoy the energy source of this cosmos to cultivate. As for us, transcendents, we can also obtain the protection of this cosmos. The huge fanged hunk said, the universe was very safe. Outside the universe was very terrifying. It was not suitable for survival, at least not with their strength. This is the only long-term, stable cosmos passage. The huge, fanged hunk said, it is also the final chance of survival that Ancestor Mother has bestowed upon us. The reproduction of our clansmen and the cultivation of us, transcendents, require a new universe. We're already comprehending their cultivation system, allowing us to gradually improve our understanding of the laws of profound mysteries. We are also using their resources to give birth to more sect masters. As long as time passes, our strength will become stronger and stronger. But the Bloodblade won't allow it. The cultivators won't allow us to drag this out any longer. They're forcing us. We have no way out. We must occupy this cosmos and construct the Ancestor Mother altar, allowing the entire cosmos to change to a cultivation system suitable for us. The Fanged Man's eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. We are indeed invaders, but our hometown is almost gone. In order to survive, we must seize their homeland. I understand. Bloody Ruler Nile transmitted. That time, even though I knew the possibility of dying was high, I still chose to give up everything to reincarnate. It was all for the sake of our race's inheritance. Religious leader Nico, you've sacrificed a lot for your race. The huge fanged hunk answered, currently, the void array of the Bloodblade is still being investigated. We don't have much time left. Originally, we decided to engage in the final battle to determine the victor. But since Monarch Green has become a ruler, there are no more heaven-defying existences in the cultivator cosmos. We can still change our plans. In a few days, the various religious leaders will discuss and make a decision. We'll inform you when the time comes. All right, Bloody Ruler Nile answered. At the peak of the Star Mountain, the 10 rulers of the cultivator cosmos and all the powerful existences were gathered. They were drinking and chatting happily. Their moods were excellent. Amongst the 10 rulers, Bloody Ruler Nile was drinking. He was smiling on the surface, though his heart was filled with complex emotions. He was originally a protector of the Ancestor Mother religion cosmos. After entering the cultivator cosmos, he and a group of people from the same race disregarded the danger of dying and reincarnating. They sealed their memories, leaving behind only a bit of spirituality. They reincarnated into the operating laws of this cosmos. Some of them died, just like that, without awakening their memories. Looking at the success rate of those stage 4 world deities reincarnating, one could see that many of them had died, and some had succeeded. They had awakened their memories. But after they reincarnated, They were life forms recognized by the operating laws of this cosmos. They had karma and cultivated normally. Ruler Nile might have been a paragon previously, but he had become a ruler now. I wonder how many of my comrades are still alive. Nile thought. Some are still alive. If they did not contact the ancestor mother religion, they would not know, because after reincarnating, they would be life forms from the cultivator cosmos. Even their soul aura would be different, and it was impossible to distinguish them. It was entirely possible for some of them to give up their responsibilities. I can cultivate normally now. Why should I risk my life for the ancestor mother religion? If I do not say, nobody will know of my identity. Awakening their memories and contacting the ancestor mother religion depended on their loyalty, because they had relied on reincarnation to infiltrate this cosmos. If they did not say, nobody would know. Thus, nobody had revealed themselves. Actually, this was normal. Even though a large number of them had reincarnated in the past, those who succeeded were pitifully few. Furthermore, they were all cunning and would naturally not commit any foolish mistakes. As for those like Bamboo Saint, they were originally experts from the cultivator cosmos. For the sake of increasing their strength, they had chosen to rely on the ancestor mother religion. Bamboo Saint and the others did not even know what the ancestor mother religion was seeking. The feast was ongoing. Bloodblade and Primal Master were also transmitting a message to each other. The Void Twin Extreme Array is constantly probing the starry sky. The ancestor mother religion will definitely be forced out. Bloodshed, God Emperor transmitted. There are only two outcomes. Either they fight with us head-on, or they fight with us. Either they fight with us, or they give up and leave our cosmos. What do you think the ancestor mother religion will choose? No matter what they choose, according to your plan, Bloodblade, we will exhaust them to death. Primal Master was confident that they had a huge advantage in their own cosmos. If their avatars died in battle, they could always produce more avatars. Bloodblade was very cautious, but they have an advantage too. They came to our cosmos in the dark and have long obtained our cultivation system. Furthermore, they have always been cultivating our cultivation system. If they succeed in cultivating two great systems, one with a terrifying body and the other with control over the laws and profound mysteries, they will pose a huge threat to us. Thus, we cannot waste time. I have thought of ways to create the Void Twin Extreme Array so that we can expel them as soon as possible. Amen. Primal Master nodded. He then chuckled. The good news is that Monarch Green has broken through before the war begins. We have another ruler. Right? Bloodblade looked at the distant Monarch Green. He was happy that his eldest disciple could become a ruler. After this feast, there will be a huge war not long later. Bloodblade looked below. Ordinary powerful existences and paragons do not have to participate in the war. It is pointless for them to do so. Ultimately, it will depend on the 10 of us. That's right, a huge war. It will be the most amazing war since the birth of this cosmos epic. If they obediently retreat and leave, that would be great. Primal Master chuckled. We cannot rely on luck. Bloodblade's eyes were deep and unfathomable. Teacher. Suddenly, a voice transmitted over. Bloodblade was startled. This voice belonged to his disciple, Dongbua Shuang. Snow Eagle, what's the matter? Bloodblade asked. This disciple has an important matter to report. Dongbua Shuang transmitted. Chapter 719. Bloodblade looked at his disciple, Dongbua Shuang, with some surprise. Even if he had something important to report, he could have waited until the banquet was over. What was so urgent? Why did it have to be in the middle of the banquet? However, this disciple of his usually knew his limits. Bloodblade immediately transmitted, What is it? Revered Master, the surrounding sovereigns wouldn't be eavesdropping on us, would they? Dongbua Shuang transmitted again. Although he was very cautious, he knew too little about sovereigns. What he wanted to say was very important and could not be exposed. Eavesdropping? Bloodblade instantly became serious. His body emitted a formless ripple that enveloped Dongbua Shuang. It's fine now. No one will be able to eavesdrop on us. Snow Eagle, why are you being so careful? This disciple had a fortuitous encounter. I can detect the strength of a cultivator's soul. Dongbua Shui Ying transmitted. You can detect the strength of a cultivator's soul? Bloodblade was shocked. His horizons were much broader than Dongbua Shui Ying's, and he knew much more. He knew that the strength of a cultivator's soul could completely reflect the level of a cultivator's strength. What level of strength can you detect? Bloodblade continued to ask. The 10 sovereigns have gathered for this banquet. Out of curiosity, I secretly investigated all 10 of them, including Revered Master. Please forgive me, Revered Master. Dongbua Shui Ying transmitted. You investigated all 10 of us. Bloodblade's heart stirred. He hurriedly asked, how was it? What did you find? The results shocked this disciple. I didn't dare to believe it. Naturally, Revered Master is ranked first, but second is the Purgatory Ruler. The third was Senior Brother Green Monarch, and the fourth was the Primal Master. However, the fifth disciple did not expect it to be the Bloody Dominator. The sixth is the Abyss Primogenitor. The 3 sovereigns of the Dark Abyss, Purgatory Ruler and Bloody Ruler, are all above the Abyss Primogenitor. After them are Pang Yi, Myriad God Palace Head, Temporal Island Lord, and Empress Qianhe. Dongbua Shui Ying transmitted. Oh, Bloodblade was silent. The information that his disciple had told him had indeed triggered the Bloodblade. Although he had noticed it secretly, it was not as clear as the ranking that Dongbua Shui Ying had determined based on the essence of the soul. This ranking, combined with the secrets Bloodblade already knew, allowed him to deduce many things. He really hit it well. Bloodblade narrowed his eyes, many thoughts running through his mind. And below, after Dongbua Shui Ying relayed this important information, he turned to look at his master. His master was silent, and there seemed to be a slight change in his expression. I've done everything I can. Even if the sky collapses, there will be a tall man to carry it. Master is a tall man. Everything depends on Master. Dongbua Shui Ying thought. The Black Gourd's weapon spirit mentioned that Bloodblade was the most terrifying ruler he had ever seen. Over the years, his master was unquestionably ranked first on the Cosmos Deity Demon list. No one could shake his position. If there was anyone who could oversee the entire cultivator cosmos, it would undoubtedly be his master. Snow Eagle, what else do you know about the rulers? Bloodblade asked. I don't know anything else. Dongbua Shui Ying replied. If not for the Black Gourd's weapon spirit, he wouldn't even be able to detect the strength of a ruler's soul. After all, a ruler wasn't someone he could easily detect. You've done well. Remember, you can tell this information to Primal Master and Abyss Primogenitor. As for the other rulers, you have to keep it secret. As for the other cultivators, you have to keep it even more secret. Bloodblade reminded. This disciple understands. Dongbua Shui Ying answered obediently. The reason why he informed his master during the banquet was because Dongbua Shui Ying felt that his senior brother Monarch Green's temperament had changed greatly. Furthermore, he was so powerful that he even gathered all the powerful existences. He was worried that something might happen. Naturally, he had to inform his master immediately. But reality told him that he was thinking too much. This time, the banquet proceeded smoothly. The banquet lasted for 3 days. The rulers gave their lectures on the Tao, causing the cultivators present to listen seriously. When the banquet ended, the rulers left one after another. Dongbua Shui Ying bade farewell to some of his good friends before bringing his wife and children back home. And Bloodshed God Emperor had stealthily transmitted a message to Primal Master and Abyss Primogenitor. The entire cosmos was filled with turbulent undercurrents. Bloodblade was controlling that terrifying Void Twin Extreme Array to sweep across the cosmos. The Ancestor Mother religion was also getting restless in the dark, but these were only known by the rulers. Dongbua Shui Ying and the others were not too clear. He did not even know that his teacher was controlling the Void Twin Extreme Array. After all, it was hard for paragons to interfere in a real battle. It was mainly the rulers who were fighting. The gap between paragons and rulers was too huge. Bloodblade just needed to send an avatar to suppress all paragons. Thus, It was meaningless for paragons to participate in the battle. Like Monarch Hex Cricket and Water Devil King, they could only survive in front of rulers. They were not qualified to retaliate. Pang, E, and Monarch Green, who could retaliate in the past, were now rulers. Ooh! A stream of light arced through the sky. It was none other than the lone Dongbua Shuang. He was currently traveling across the deity world and abyss. He was exploring some ancient historical remains while doing his best to refine the Black Gourd. The Black Gourd is a protective treasure. It contains a fireball comparable to the Sun Star, and it is incredibly powerful. Refining the Black Gourd is also the final trial left behind by the Voidwalker. As long as I succeed, I will have an ultimate killing move. Dongbua Shuang might not understand much, but he could faintly feel that the entire cosmos was becoming more and more tense. At this moment, the stronger he was, the better. But how should I refine it? Using the words of the Voidwalker, even rulers could not control the Black Gourd. Dongbua Shuang flew through the starry sky with a frown. Such a protective treasure is for a paragon like me to refine? Of course, since the Voidwalker set this trial, it means that I can succeed. Compared to rulers, what advantage do I have? Why should I be able to refine it? Firstly, I have the technique to control it. With this technique, I can clearly sense the illusory array within the Black Gourd. Dongbua Shuang thought. Secondly, I'm one of the people who tested the Voidwalker. You should have left me a path of hope. There are only two methods to refine treasures. Firstly, use strength to break through and refine it forcefully. Using strength to forcefully refine it. Dongbua Shuang shook his head. He had refined some world deity weapons and other treasures. Even if they had an owner, he would still be able to refine them forcefully. Clearly, only those with absolute strength can do so. Me try to refine the Black Gourd by force? Definitely not. Secondly, comprehend the profound mysteries of the array within the Black Gourd and gradually refine it. Dongbua Shuang felt a headache coming on. The illusory array within the Black Gourd was capable of suppressing the Sun Star. How profound was it? Was it something that he could refine? But since the Voidwalkers used it to test those who came after, they should have set up a threshold. Most likely, once I reach a certain realm in my comprehension of the Black Gourd array, I should be able to reach the threshold and refine it. Shuang thought. The creator of a treasure would definitely leave behind some backup plans. It could be set up so that only a certain person could refine it. It could also be set up so that only a certain level in controlling the array could refine it. Everything was set up by the creator. If the creator was willing, he could even make those treasures with spirituality listen to the orders of a certain weakling. That should be the case. This is the only possibility. It's impossible for me to truly comprehend the array to such a high level. Not to mention me. Even rulers wouldn't be able to do it. Dongbua Shuang was very sure that if the requirements were really that high, he could only accept his failure. I reckon that there should be a threshold. As long as I can control the array to a certain level, it would be sufficient. The array within the Black Gourd was too difficult. If he were to enter closed-door cultivation for a long period of time, he might not be able to succeed. Hence, his main body in the Crimson Rock Mountain would enter closed-door cultivation for a long period of time. As for this avatar, he would head to the various ancient ruins, hoping to gain some insights from them. After all, those who could leave behind ancient ruins were all extraordinary characters for the previous epics. Chapter 720. Time flowed, and in the blink of an eye, more than 600,000 years had passed. But to Dongbua Shuang, who had cultivated for millions of years, this was not a long time. Still, he could feel the pressure, because the deadline for the third trial of refining the Black Gourd in 1,000,000 years had already passed. Black Fog Sea, Dongbua Monarch Residence. Very good. Dongbua Shuang stood there smiling happily. He looked at his son. Dongbua, you four, I have always been thinking who would be the first to step into stage 3. You're the first. Not bad. For people stood obediently in front of him. They were Dongbua Dongbua Qingyao, and his 2 disciples, Imo Chongyun and Jiayun. Dongbua Shuang's children had long since become stage 2 world deities. His daughter was the disciple of Paragon Hua Cheng. As for his son, Dongbuyu, he would often cultivate by Dongbua Shui Ying's side. After all, Dongbua Shuiying was a paragon. Unless a ruler accepted him as a disciple, it was enough for him to teach him. His disciples, Mo Chong Yun and Jia Yun, were even more talented. But they had only cultivated for a short period of time and were probably close to reaching stage 3. Who would have thought that among the four, Dongbuyu would be the first to reach stage 3? You brat, you became a world deity later than me. Later on, you became a stage 2 world deity, and now you became a stage 3 faster than me. Dongbuqing Yao rubbed his brother's head. Dongbuyu smiled. They had all cultivated for millions of years, and even their parents would not rub his head. Only his sister, Dongbuqing Yao, rubbed his head. Dongbuyu felt that it was very natural. Sis, it's not that I'm fast, it's that you're slow. Dongbuyu chuckled. Just a few compliments, and you're so happy. Let's see who becomes a stage 4 world deity first. Dongbuqing Yao pouted. Their comprehension abilities were not bad, and they had excellent conditions. Becoming a stage 4 world deity was indeed not a difficult matter. But transcendence was the true difficulty. Their mother, Jing Xiao, had always been stuck at the same level, while their father, Dongbua Shuiying, was a heaven-defying freak. However, he was simply too heaven-defying and had actually established his own Tao, which meant that he had to become a sovereign before he could transcend. Congratulations, senior brother Yu. The childlike Mo Chong Yun bowed respectfully. Congratulations, senior brother Yu, said Jia Yun. At the same time, Dongbua Shuiying was thinking about the formation inside the Black Gourd. He had to admit that he had given it his all. He had even traveled to various places in the divine world and the abyss, whether it was the ruins, the mortal world, or the chaotic world in the abyss. He hoped that different environments would give him different inspirations. Clearly, he had used all kinds of methods in order to refine the Black Gourd. If it were not for the fact that the Void Walkers forbade others from helping him, he would have begged his master to teach him a thing or two. However, he did not dare to do so, so he had to think of a way himself. Even so, he had only comprehended the tip of the iceberg of the Black Gourd formation. He was still unable to refine it. However, this was just the tip of the iceberg, but Dongbua Shuiying's strength had increased significantly. Cultivator Cosmos, territory of the ancestor mother religion. Within a vast palace hall, many figures were seated cross-legged on the ground. These figures were densely spread out, forming a circle. All of them were emitting a terrifying and vast aura. These figures were mainly divided into 3 categories. One of them was the huge, fanged hunk, bloody ruler Nile, and the others. Their bodies were towering and majestic. There was also a group of women. Their silhouettes were normal. The final category was the thin and weak ones. They even looked sickly and weak. Some had even wrapped themselves in their robes. Their bodies were shrouded in fog, preventing others from seeing them. The 18 religious leaders have gathered here. The huge fanged hunk's voice was grand. It reverberated within the palace hall. Our hometown is currently collapsing. Our 3 newly born religious leaders are temporarily unable to come over. Their thoughts will be conveyed by me. This time, religious leader Nico will also be participating in this gathering. The huge fanged hunk turned to bloody ruler Nile by the side. Bloody ruler Nile was merely an incarnation that descended. Furthermore, his incarnation had concealed its aura and changed its appearance. It was impossible to tell that he was bloody ruler. Everyone should know that religious leader Nico did not hesitate to reincarnate when he was still a protector. Not only did he succeed, he even followed their cultivation system and became a ruler. The huge fanged hunk said, "Naturally, only I know which of the 10 rulers he is. I believe fellow religious leaders can understand." Amen. The other religious leaders looked at bloody ruler Nile. Their eyes were filled with admiration and passion. A ruler hidden within the enemy was much more useful than an ordinary ruler. Bloody ruler had helped them in the dark, allowing them to obtain cultivation techniques more easily. If not for bloody ruler, the ancestor mother religion would not have had such a huge harvest in the cultivator cosmos. After all, there were many secrets that ordinary paragons did not know. Only the rulers knew more. Relying on bloody ruler, the ancestor mother religion had a deep understanding of the cultivator cosmos. This time, I believe everyone knows that the cultivator cosmos bloodshed god emperor is controlling that powerful array to sweep through the entire region. According to the speed and direction of his scouting, he'll reach our location within a few 100,000 years. The huge fanged hunk said, "Thus, we can't delay any longer. And men, it's a pity. If we were given more time, our comprehension of the laws and profound mysteries would be deeper. We can also gather more resources to give birth to more religious leaders in our hometown. Currently, there are quite a few protectors in our hometown who have reached this realm, yet they do not have the resources to break through. The cosmos is collapsing, and we can't gather resources at all." These religious leaders were sighing. The collapse of their cosmos would be the final one. It was not a cycle of epochs. Yes, the huge fanged hunk nodded, but we don't have time. Everyone has to admit that the rulers of the cultivator cosmos are generally stronger than our religious leaders. They control the laws and profound mysteries, making their battles more unpredictable. We are comparatively more stupid. The huge fanged hunk said, "Naturally, their cosmos is still young, and there are few historical remains. There are few treasures left behind from the previous epochs. Our cosmos is much older and has already collapsed. There are many more treasures left behind. Yes, by relying on these treasures, we can definitely obtain victory. We will definitely succeed in establishing the ancestor mother altar. Even if they could refine new avatars, we can still rely on karma to find them and kill them one by one. They are too young and have too few treasures." These religious leaders were filled with killing intent. They had no path of retreat. Be it for their race or for themselves, they had to occupy this cosmos. They even had to establish the ancestor mother altar, transforming the entire cosmos into a cultivation system suitable for them. Even though they were currently cultivating the laws and profound mysteries, their cultivation system was still their specialty. Furthermore, the cultivation system did not have a high requirement for the cosmos, and they could still cultivate it. Previously, Pang Yi became a ruler in their cultivator cosmos, and later on, Monarch Green became a ruler. This is a good thing for us. The huge fanged hunk chuckled. "I believe that everyone has discovered the most precious treasure in this cosmos." Yes, the most precious treasure. They actually do not recognize it. It's no wonder. After all, this is only the 8th cosmos epoch. They are still too young. The eyes of these religious leaders brightened. "Primal chaos flying ship." The huge fanged hunk softly said, "A legendary primal chaos flying ship." The cultivator cosmos actually ranked it as the 3rd of the 5 great historical remains. What a joke. This is much more precious than our Lake Heart Island historical remains and the 6 heavenly wheel. We have only seen records of it in the sacred scripture. Who would have thought that we would see a true primal chaos flying ship in this cosmos? The 5 great historical remains of the cultivator cosmos. First, the Lake Heart Island historical remains. Second, the 6 heavenly wheel. Third, the Arcadia flying ship. Fourth, the Moon Palace. Fifth, the thatched hall. As long as we can obtain the primal chaos flying ship, with how mystical it is, we will have 1/2 of this war. The huge fanged hunk chuckled. Chapter 721. This primal chaos flying ship is restricted by an invisible law. Even those with the strength of a ruler or a sect master would be completely rejected and unable to enter. The huge fanged hunk shook his head. Unfortunately, there aren't many records in the canon. There are only some simple information about the primal chaos flying ship. However, with this simple information and the fact that this ship hasn't been controlled by anyone for many epochs, it should be an ownerless object. We definitely have hope of seizing it. Previously, the cultivator cosmos had Pang, Yi, and Monarch Green. Although our cosmos also has extremely powerful protectors, compared to Pang, E, and Monarch Green, we have to admit that there is still some disparity. Their control over the profound mysteries of the laws is profound and unfathomable. During a battle, a portion of their strength can be split into 10 portions. Moreover, many of their moves are strange and unpredictable. With them around, it's impossible for our protectors to win. But now, both of them have become sovereigns. The cultivator Cosmos no longer has any powerful paragons. The strongest one is called Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Although he's not bad. Any one of our 3 holy protectors is enough to stop him. The huge fanged hunk laughed. That's right. Be it in terms of numbers or strength, our protectors can suppress them in all aspects. We have 9 protectors who have already reached the sect master level. It's just that I don't have enough resources to break through. These sect masters were filled with confidence. In terms of quantity, they had the advantage among the sect masters, dominators. But without the help of treasures, they didn't have the confidence to fight head-on. Because even if the rulers of the cultivator Cosmos died in battle, they could quickly refine another avatar in a short period of time. In addition, the rulers were extremely proficient in utilizing the laws and profound mysteries. All of them were incomparably crafty. For example, the Temporal Island Lord, who was weaker in direct combat, was famous for his elusiveness. In terms of controlling space-time, he was the strongest in both universes. The other rulers had their own ruler realm Daos, and their overall combat standard was stronger than the religious leaders from the ancestor mother religion. They could only rely on their numbers and treasures to fight. They had always felt that it was still too early to start the war. If they could nurture more sect masters and cultivate the laws of profound mysteries to an extremely high level, their combat power would naturally increase greatly. But there was no way around it. Bloodblade had activated the Extreme Void Twin Array, not giving them any time to react. However, they were very confident in the Protector Venerable level. This was because 9 of them had reached the Sect Master level, but hadn't been able to break through. Of course, the increase in their realms was more in the spiritual aspect, and it didn't help much in terms of strength. If it was in Dongbua Shui Ying's universe, once one's realm broke through, it would be a breakthrough in the Tao, and one's strength would undergo a qualitative transformation. But the Ancestor Mother religion was different. They had to rely on resources to improve their realm under the guidance of Ancestor Mother. Thus, the Ancestor Mother altar was a must. Without the Ancestor Mother altar, they could not increase their strength. However, the strength of the 9 protectors had improved slightly in the end, and there were even 3 among them who had blazed a new path and had improved greatly in strength, so they were respectfully addressed as holy protectors. The primordial chaos flying ship is an item recorded in the Holy Bible. It is extremely powerful. As long as they could control it, they would have won half the battle. Even if we are defeated, we can use the chaos flying ship to leave this universe and survive. The huge fanged hunk said, "Therefore, we have to seize the chaos flying ship at all costs. Monarch Green has become a ruler, and they do not have any powerful paragons. This is an opportunity given to us by Ancestor Mother." The eyes of the huge fanged hunk were filled with desire and expectation. We have to fight with all our strength. We have to do it at all costs. Seize the primordial chaos flying ship, occupy this cosmos, and construct the Ancestor Mother altar. This will be our cosmos. Within this vast palace hall, there were 18 figures seated cross-legged. All of them were filled with determination, because they could not afford to lose. If they lost, their hometown cosmos would be collapsing, and they could not leave the cosmos to survive. Without the protection of the primordial chaos flying ship, they would all be exterminated. Black Fog Sea, Dongbo Monarch Residence. Snowflakes fluttered, covering the entire residence with a thick layer of snow. Dongbo Shuang was currently brewing wine by himself. Other than the fruit wine that was being brewed on the table, there was also a big black gourd placed there. Dongbo Shuang would occasionally bring the big black gourd into his robes and caress it. He seemed to be in a daze, but in reality, he was using his cultivation technique to sense the terrifying void array within. The void array was grand like the galaxy in the sky, and Dongbua Shui Ying was like a mortal looking up at it. The difference in realms was too great. Dongbua Shui Ying was either focusing on comprehending a single point of this void array or treating it as a whole to comprehend it. He had gained some benefits over the past 600,000 years. It was just that he was still far from refining the black gourd. Snow Eagle. A voice suddenly resounded by his ear. It was filled with a strand of anxiety. Hurry up and come to the Arcadia flying ship. Teacher? Dongbua Shui Ying was slightly startled. His teacher, Bloodblade, had always been calm and unperturbed. Why did he lose his composure this time? Hurry up and come. Bloodblade did not explain the reason. He simply ordered. Yes. Dongbua Shui Ying did not care about anything else. He immediately grabbed the black gourd on the table and flew out of the monarch residence. Before he left, he even sent a voice transmission. Jing Xiao, I have something important to do. I have to leave now. Jing Xiao teleported to the snowy ground where the wine was being boiled. She looked at the wine flask that was still steaming. She raised her head and watched as Dongbua Shui Ying entered a spatial passage in the sky. She could not help but look forward to it. She knew that there was a huge gap between her and Dongbua Shui Ying's strength. All she could do was silently support him from behind. Who? Dongbua Shui Ying used all his strength to rush forward. His mirage world extended outwards, tearing open a spatial passage in the mirage world. This allowed him to fly at an extremely fast speed. In just half a cup of tea's time. Hua! Eastern Europe's Snow Eagle flew out of the spatial passage. He saw a flying ship floating in the starry sky outside. The flying ship was roughly 500 kilometers long. It did not seem big in the starry sky. However, the reason why it was named Arcadia Flying Ship was because it did not look big on the surface. In reality, there was a huge grotto heaven within it. The interior was simply a grotto heaven world. Teacher, Dongbua Shui Ying swiftly discovered Bloodblade. He also saw the black-robed, black-haired temporal island lord and the other rulers. The 10 rulers were actually gathered here. Other than the 10 rulers, there were over 10 paragons who had rushed over. There were already more than 10 paragons here, like Water Devil King, Paragon Hoi Chung, and the others. I've always suspected that this Arcadia flying ship is extraordinary. It doesn't seem to be something from our cosmos, Bloodblade said. What's strange is that even rulers can't enter it. Just based on the many mystical aspects we discovered, we've ranked it third among the 5 great historical remains. I've always felt that it might be more formidable than what we expected. That's why I've been constructing arrays around it. Who would have thought that the ancestor mother religion would actually send out a huge army this time? A group of religious leaders charged over, and my arrays were easily torn apart by them. They even sent a large group of protectors into this Arcadia flying ship. So many religious leaders are moving together. Furthermore, so many protectors have entered. They must know something. They even know how to control this Arcadia flying ship. Bloodblade frowned. He was slightly worried. Chapter 722. The green-robed old man, Yuanshu master, nodded and said, Back when I was still a venerable, I've entered the Arcadia flying ship and witnessed all kinds of extraordinary things inside. Some of them are even more incredible than the 6 paths Tianlun and the Lake Heart Island. Back then, I believe that the strength of the refiner of this grotto heaven flying ship was above the owner of Lake Heart Island and the demon ancestor. My guess is that it's something from another universe. Yes, the black-robed, black-haired temporal island lord nodded. It's a pity. Although it is extraordinary, it is hard for us to obtain any benefits from it. The 5 great relics. Ranked third, the Arcadia flying ship was the stingiest. It was very difficult to gain anything from it. In places like the Lake Heart Island ruins, the 6 paths Tianlun, and the Moon Palace were all treasures, ultimate arts, guidance, training, and so on. They were all intentionally left behind by the predecessors of the previous epochs for the juniors. Even if one cottage was special, it still left behind an inheritance. Only the Arcadia flying ship remained. From the various traces, such as the traces of refinement and spirit designs, it could be seen that it was of the highest level. But he didn't gain anything from it. First, we gained very little. 2. Not even hegemons can enter. The abyssal primogenitor shook his head as well. It's already extraordinary enough to be ranked 3rd. The indifferent Pantheon Palace Master said, "We didn't find anything because we didn't discover its true secret. This time, the Ancestor Mother religion has sent a large number of protectors in. They should know the secret of this Arcadia flying ship." Bloodblade nodded. "Be it us, or the seniors from the previous epochs, we all guessed that the Arcadia flying ship came from another universe. Now that the Ancestor Mother religion knows of its secret, the Arcadia flying ship should be quite famous. Now that I have displayed the Void Twin Extreme Array, the Ancestor Mother religion should be anxious. That is why they sent a large group of protectors to kill their way in. But this Arcadia flying ship is suppressed by invisible laws. Even sovereigns can't enter." Bloody Sovereign Nile said anxiously. "We have no choice but to send the Venerables in," said Bloodblade. "We can only watch. It's up to the Venerable Ones. The Primal Master, the Abyss Primogenitor, the Purgatory Ruler, and Empress Qian, he were all at their wits' end." The Venerables quickly gathered. One by one, the Paragons looked at their surroundings in astonishment. They saw that the 10 sovereigns were gathered here, and a large number of Paragons were rushing over. What's going on? The ruler is here, and the Paragons are rushing over. What's going on? Everyone was a little dazed. Dongbua Shui Ying, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, and Overlord of Destruction were naturally gathered together. "Dongbua, do you know what happened?" the Monarch of Destruction asked. The Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master looked over. "I don't know." Dongbua Shui shook his head in confusion. At the same time, he noticed that the supremacies around him were confused. "I've asked a few of my old friends, but none of them knew. Right now, Bloodblade is discussing matters with the other sovereigns, so it's not convenient for me to ask him." The Overlord of Destruction said. He could tell that this was a huge matter. At this moment, he naturally could not act like a master. After all, his disciple Bloodblade was the true leader of the Cultivator universe. "Let's wait." The Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master was very calm. "Since he summoned us, he will tell us soon." "Yes." Dongbua Shuiying nodded as he waited by the side. He saw his good brother Paragon, Hua Cheng, in the distance. He also saw White Sovereign King, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, Monarch Hex Cricket, and even Ripple Lady Planet Master who specialized in refining treasures. Regardless, all the Paragons were gathered here, even those who had just broken through a summit. And then, Dongbua Shuiying also noticed Leaf Saint in the distance. He had some enmity with Leaf Saint. Finally, all the Paragons from the deity world and Abyss had arrived. The 10 rulers also stopped chatting. Bloodblade swept his gaze across all the Paragons before saying in a clear voice, "I believe most of you know that other than our cultivator cosmos, there are other cosmoses." All the Paragons present were silent. They were listening attentively. Occasionally, our cosmos will discover traces of experts from other cosmoses. But these aren't anything to worry about. Currently, there is a superpower called the Ancestor Mother religion. They have sent a large batch of rulers into our cosmos. Bloodblade said. "What? A large batch of rulers?" Many Paragons were startled. There might be a war between the Ancestor Mother religion and us. According to our original plan, the 10 of us rulers are sufficient for the war. Your participation in the war won't be of much help to the overall situation. Instead, it will bind our hands and feet. Bloodblade said. The Paragons present did not refute him. After all, they were clear of the gap between them and the rulers. But now, a group of rulers from the Ancestor Mother religion has broken through my arrays. They are also escorting a large group of Paragons into the Arcadia flying ship. Bloodblade said they might know the secret of the Arcadia flying ship. He continued explaining. At the same time, Bloodblade was also transmitting the intelligence regarding the Ancestor Mother religion and the Arcadia flying ship to all the Paragons. Even though people like Dongbua, Shui, Ying already knew many secrets, some paragons knew very little. You should understand the threat of the ancestor mother religion since I've given you the intelligence. Originally, there was no need for you to participate in this war, but now it's different. Leave the final war to us, and the war within the Arcadia flying ship will be left to all of you paragons. Bloodblade said with a clear voice, "We do not know the secret of the Arcadia flying ship. Thus, there's only one thing we can do: kill them all. Kill all their protectors, and their plan will fail. The final war belongs to us rulers, and we will have to rely on you all to enter the Arcadia flying ship. Even if you all die in battle, you can immediately refine avatars and enter again." Bloodblade's eyes were filled with killing intent. No matter what, we must exhaust them to death. The entire place was silent. The paragons standing in the void were all filled with fighting intent. This was a war between two cosmoses. Originally, they did not need to participate in this war, but now they could do their part. 36 paragons. Bloodblade looked at them. "We rulers do not know what secret the Arcadia flying ship is hiding, but we can confirm that the Arcadia flying ship is much more terrifying than the Lake Hard Island historical remain and the 6 heavenly wheel. If you all were to lose, it might lead to the final defeat. We will win, and all these outsiders will be killed." In the distance, there was a muscular male with 2 black horns. His purple eyes were filled with thunder. He was the strongest of the 36 paragons, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. "Right, we will wipe them out. This is a war between us paragons. We will definitely win." All the paragons were filled with fighting intent, and Bloodblade, Primal Master, Temporal Island Lord, and the other rulers were filled with anticipation as they watched. These were all paragons from their cultivator cosmos. "Let's go," Bloodblade said. "Go, let's go. Kill all the protectors of the ancestor mother religion." All the paragons, including Dongbua, Shui Ying, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, Monarch Destruction, Paragon Hua Chung, Ripple Lady Planet Master, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, and the others flew towards the Arcadia flying ship. The 10 rulers watched everything. "Will we win?" Empress Qian, he was slightly worried. "Our 2 strongest paragons, Pang, E, and Monarch Green, have become rulers. Currently, none of these paragons can fight against rulers." Myriad God Palace head coldly said, "This time it's a little risky." The other rulers did not speak. Everyone felt uncertain. Just like Monarch Green and Pang E in the past, they could suppress a large group of paragons. It's a pity that the 2 of them had become rulers. The 10 rulers looked to the distance. There were 36 streams of light arcing through the starry sky. They had already charged into the Arcadia flying ship. Those 36 streams of light represented all the paragons in their cultivator cosmos. End of this chapter, Star. Chapter 723. The Arcadia flying ship in front of them was getting bigger and bigger, yet Dongbua Shuiying and the other 36 paragons did not slow down at all. When they were just 5 kilometers away from the Arcadia flying ship, a ripple formed on the surface of the flying ship. Those who came into contact with the ripple, Dongbua Shuiying and the others, easily passed through it and entered the ship. Wah! After passing through the ripple, they arrived at a quiet and peaceful world. This world had grasslands, hills, and rivers. It was just that there were no birds or beasts. "Stop!" Following a loud roar from Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, "Hoo! Dongbua Shuiying and the others stopped. They stood in midair. The 36 paragons from the cultivator cosmos, including Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master and Dongbua Shuiying, were all paragons. At this moment, all of them had solemn expressions. Even though this Arcadia flying ship world had an unseen law suppression, experts like Dongbua, Shuiying, and mysterious North Imperial Empress were still able to conduct an ultra-long-distance scouting. The ancestor mother religion actually has so many protectors. Dongbua Shuiying relied on the Mirage world to extend his senses. He soon enveloped the protectors who were currently in a dazzling rainbow light 60 billion kilometers away. Different from the cultivator cosmos, These protectors of the ancestor mother religion were generally weaker in the laws and profound mysteries. Even though there were some who had comprehended the complete law of the world, none of the protectors had opened a Tao. Furthermore, they could not teleport within the Arcadia flying ship world. They could only fly slowly, and it was easy for Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and the others to catch up to them. They could just teleport by relying on the mirage world. What a powerful aura! Dongbua Shui Ying's expression changed slightly. There were a total of 51 protectors from the ancestor mother religion. They were flying at high speed, and the three who had the most terrifying aura were the ones flying at the front. They were a golden-haired monkey, a venomous-tailed girl, a muscular man wielding a wooden pole. The three of them were currently emitting an unseen ripple that enveloped the entire team. When Dongbua Shui Ying, White's sovereign king, mysterious North Imperial Empress, and the others were scouting in the dark, the three most terrifying protectors from the ancestor mother religion immediately sensed it. Humph! The muscular man wielding the wooden staff turned his head. His gaze pierced through the obstruction of the void and was actually able to see the group of paragons of the cultivator cosmos tens of billions of miles away. They're here. The golden-haired monkey also turned around. His golden eyes seemed to pierce through the void as he looked at the group of supremacies. Even if you come, you'll just be throwing your life away. The venom-tailed woman sneered. Don't underestimate them. These cultivators have created their own Tao. Their control over the laws of profound mysteries is much better than ours. Right now, they can easily monitor us. As for us, only Protector Kuei and I can see them. The golden-haired monkey transmitted. The brawny man with the wooden staff said, "That's why if we play tricks with them, we'll be the ones to suffer. Let's do what we're doing now. All the Guardians will work together, and we'll use our absolute strength to crush them head-on. No matter what tricks they use against us, we'll crush them head-on and crush them into powder." The venom-tailed woman smiled. That was a confident smile. Their ancestor mother religion had been observing the entire cultivator cosmos in the dark. In addition to bloody ruler Nile providing them with a large amount of intelligence, they had a clear understanding of the strength of the 36 paragons. The more they understood, the more confident they became. This time, they would definitely win. In midair, Dongbua Shui Ying and the other 36 paragons were gathered here. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was currently clad in violet armor. His bare arms were covered in draconic tattoos. Two black, curved horns protruded from his head, and his violet eyes were faintly flashing with lightning. He growled, "Fellow paragons, the ancestor mother religion has suddenly acted. Furthermore, a total of 51 protectors have gathered together. For them to dare to do this, they must have something they can rely on." The other paragons looked at Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's strength had determined that he would naturally be the leader this time. In the world of cultivators, the strong were still respected. It doesn't matter what they are relying on. We must avoid their strengths and attack their weaknesses. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction said, "Their cultivation heart realm is much weaker than ours. Hence, the moment the battle begins, Purgatory Great Commander, Nightmare Monarch, and Monarch Dongbo, the three of you will use your illusory techniques. Purgatory Great Commander's Purgatory Reincarnation is the most powerful and tyrannical. Hence, he will be the first to use it. Nightmare Monarch's Nightmare technique is slightly strange. Monarch Dongbo's Mirage and Illusory Realm should be extraordinary as well. Those with a weaker cultivation realm might be able to resist one, but the second and third would most likely strike the weakness in their heart, causing them to fall into oblivion." None present rebutted. After all, illusory realm techniques were the best large-scale technique. It was fine if they could resist it, but if they could not, they would be doomed. At this moment, the efficiency would be extremely high. "I'll have to trouble the three of you." Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction looked at Dongbua, Shui Ying, and the other two. "Leave it to us." Purgatory Great Commander was clad in red armor. Nightmare Monarch, who was shrouded in fog, and Dongbua Shui Ying, who was dressed in black, nodded. After the illusory realm ends, we will need Demon Phoenix to use her domain to suppress and restrain each and every one of them. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction began his arrangements. Demon Phoenix was an apex paragon from Dark Abyss. Her ranking on the Cosmos Deity Demon list was slightly lower amongst the apex paragons. This was because she specialized in domains. But she was also one of the paragons who had the strongest control over domains. She was average in terms of direct combat and defense. Only her domain was unfathomable. Ordinary paragons would not be able to retaliate against her. And when she met an apex paragon, she would immediately use her domain to escape. Hence, even though she was ranked 20th on the Cosmos Deity Demon list, her influence was still very high. She was comparable to Water Demon King and the others. And Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, continued to make arrangements. He had cultivated for a long period of time. Now that he was the leader, he naturally had to arrange everything well. Very soon, the battle plan was set. They would use their advantages to the best of their abilities. There were also many backup plans. All right, since everyone understands, let us prepare for battle. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction looked at the green-robed, beautiful girl. Mysterious North Imperial Empress. Mysterious North Imperial Empress, teleport us to their side. Mysterious North Imperial Empress softly nodded. Hua! Suddenly, a huge illusion of a magic formation appeared in the surrounding void. Wang. In a split second, the 36 venerable ones inside the illusory formation disappeared without a trace. When he appeared again, he was already 60 billion kilometers away from where the group of protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion were located. Who? The group of protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion were flying at high speed. They had turned into a huge rainbow light. They were like meteorites arcing through the sky. And Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and the other 36 paragons had appeared by their side. They were just a few kilometers away from them. This distance was something they could touch with their level. And of the 36 paragons, Purgatory Great Commander, Nightmare Monarch, and Dongbua Shui Ying were fully focused. Purgatory Great Commander, who was covered in red armor, was the first to display his illusory realm technique. One could see flames burning in his eyes. In his eyes, there seemed to be many souls howling within the flames. An unseen ripple descended and enveloped all 51 protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion. Chapter 724. Almost instantaneously, of the 51 protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion, a total of 6 of them were clutching their heads and howling in agony. Flames were burning in their eyes. These flames came from their souls. They could not withstand the purgatory reincarnation, and their souls were directly incinerated into nothingness. Even though the other protectors revealed a pained look, they were still barely able to withstand it. Go! Nightmare Monarch let out a light laugh. His laughter strangely transmitted into the mind of every protector from the Ancestor Mother religion. Of these protectors who were previously struck by the purgatory reincarnation, 2 of them revealed a strange smile. They closed their eyes and fell asleep. Descend. Dongbua Shui Ying closely followed up with his Mirage and Illusory Realm. The 3 of them had their own techniques. Purgatory Great Commander's Purgatory Reincarnation was actually more offensive in his Tao of Purgatory. It directly attacked the soul, and the Illusory Realm was merely a secondary effect. If one could not withstand it, their soul would be directly incinerated into ashes. Nightmare Monarch was primarily a type of nightmare that could control the soul of the enemy, and Dongbua Shui Ying's Mirage and Illusory Realm formed a world that was similar to the real world. This illusory world and the real world were 2 different worlds. When the Illusory Realm descended, it would bewilder one's consciousness, causing one to fall into this illusory realm for eternity. Under the execution of the Mirage and Illusory Realm, 5 protectors fell into a deep sleep at the same time. They naturally emitted breathing sounds. Purgatory Great Commander and Nightmare Monarch who unleashed their respective attacks, were slightly startled. They glanced at Donghua, Ying by their side. They were clear that the first one to unleash his illusory realm had the best effect. A total of 6 protectors had died. The second one was slightly weaker because the 6 with weaker cultivation hearts had died. The remaining ones were not too weak, and only 2 fell into the illusory realm. As for the third time, a total of 5 protectors had fallen into oblivion. This made the 2 of them extremely startled. Just talking about this illusory realm technique, Ying was most likely the strongest amongst the paragons. Ying was very clear about this. After so many years of cultivation, his understanding of the Tao of Mirage was much more profound. In addition to the 600,000 years of studying the void array of the Blackboard, because he was proficient in the Tao of Mirage, almost all of the gains he gained from studying the void array were related to the Tao of Mirage. These gains allowed his Tao of Mirage to improve tremendously. Currently, his Tao of Mirage could be considered to be at the pinnacle level. The Purgatory Great Commander's illusory realm attack was just a side effect. The Nightmare Monarch was just an ordinary venerable. Donghua Ying's Tao of Mirage, on the other hand, was extremely proficient in illusory realms. Moreover, it was a top-notch Tao of Mirage. Amongst the paragons, his illusory realms were naturally the best. Monarch Dongbo was the last to act, yet he managed to cripple 5 protectors. His illusory realm is more formidable than expected. The group of paragons from the cultivator cosmos had many judgments in their hearts. It was all because Donghua Ying was too young. Everyone subconsciously felt that his illusory realm techniques should be ordinary. Among the 36 paragons, Devil Phoenix was dressed in a luxurious violet gown. Beneath her beautiful face, her eyes were filled with killing intent. One could see countless violet light spreading out in a region spanning 5 billion kilometers. The violet light was fluctuating like a violet ocean. Every single violet light contained an offensive power that would make the hearts of others palpitate. But all the protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion were being protected by an unseen ripple. The ones releasing this unseen ripple were the golden-haired monkey, the venom-tailed girl, and a muscular man with a wooden pole. The illusory realm technique was illusory and targeted the soul. Under normal circumstances, one could only rely on their soul to resist against it. Clearly, they could not protect their comrades. But the domain attack of Paragon Devil Phoenix was easily resisted by them. Kill all of them. The golden-haired monkey roared. He waved his palm, bringing with it a world-destroying power that swept out towards the group of cultivator paragons. Because he was filled with anger, the golden-haired monkey seemed to be risking his life almost instantaneously. His entire body began emitting golden light, and his aura became much more ferocious. That huge hairy palm of his rapidly enlarged. Every single strand of hair on his palm was like a towering tree. It seemed as though he wanted to slap all the paragons to death with a single palm. The space by the edge of his palm had turned into a pitch-black, distorted black hole. The expressions of Donghua Ying and the others changed. Fighting against 36 by himself seemed like a joke. But Donghua Ying and the others were clear that this was not a joke. The offensive power of the golden-haired monkey was comparable to that of rulers under normal circumstances. At this moment, he was risking his life to unleash a forbidden technique, causing its power to increase by several times. It was unfathomably strong. Even if he was weaker in terms of laws and profound mysteries, people like Donghua Ying who could use the Mirage world could naturally resist against it. But many ordinary paragons would probably be suppressed and annihilated. After all, this was the might of a ruler. In terms of strength, it might even surpass them. This was the strongest of the 3 great sage protectors. Scram, followed by an angry roar. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction immediately slashed out with the black pole in his hand. Normally, he would not use a weapon, but this time he did. His weapon transformed into a purple lightning bolt. Long. In terms of strength, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction had also reached the ruler level. His understanding of laws and profound mysteries was also close to that of a ruler. When Pang Yi was more low-profile, amongst the paragons, Monarch Green was publicly acknowledged as the strongest. He was truly comparable to a ruler. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was second. He was extremely close to a ruler and was able to wrestle with a ruler. But after a long time, he would still be defeated by a ruler. As for the other paragons, Water Devil King, White Sovereign, Monarch Hex Cricket, and the others were all peak paragons. But when facing a ruler, they could only preserve their lives. Pump! The black pole tore through everything. It clashed against that huge hairy palm. The pole merely trembled slightly before dissipating the impact. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction did not seem to be at a disadvantage. He continued his killing. Let's kill Great Destruction first before sweeping through the other paragons. The golden-haired monkey said, Kill. The venom-tailed girl and the pole muscular man did not hesitate to team up with the golden-haired monkey to attack Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. In a one-on-one battle, they would at most be comparable to Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. But if they worked together, they would be able to complement each other's techniques. In addition to their understanding of Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, they were confident of killing him. Within the territory of the ancestor mother religion, within a vast palace hall, the group of religious leaders were seated cross-legged. They were watching the projection in midair. It was the scene of the battle within the Arcadia flying ship. In an instant, we lost 12 protectors. Even though 6 of them are in deep sleep, they are temporarily unable to provide any help. A thin old man said, It was hard to awaken those who had fallen into an illusory realm. Few religious leaders could do so, much less those paragons. They could only search for their true bodies in their hometown cosmos and ask one of the religious leaders to awaken them. That Dongbua Shui was the last to unleash his illusory realm, yet 5 protectors still fell for it. He wasn't this formidable back in the 6 heavenly wheel. These religious leaders were discussing. Indeed, in the past, when Dongbua Shui was in the 6 heavenly wheel, he had merely killed a single protector. But that time, he had just opened the Tao of Mirage. And now, close to 10 million years had passed. He had also comprehended the black gourd void array, raising his Tao of Mirage to the pinnacle. Naturally, his power was much stronger than before. Fellow religious leaders. Suddenly, the huge fanged hunk said in a low tone, I've just received news that the 6 protectors who could not resist against the purgatory reincarnation technique have died from soul combustion. At that moment, the palace hall turned silent. When the enemy could not resist against the attacks of Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and Nightmare Monarch, their true bodies and avatars would fall into deep sleep. And when the enemy could not resist against the attacks of Purgatory Great Commander, the souls of their true bodies and avatars would be incinerated. They died for their hometown and for their race. The huge fanged hunk said, Their deaths are worth it. A female religious leader calmly said, The war has just begun. Everything is for survival. Chapter 725. In the starry sky outside the Arcadia flying ship, Bloodblade, Monarch Green, Peng Yi, Abyss Pranger, Primal Master, and the other rulers were watching from afar. Even the ancestor mother religion could see what was happening within the Arcadia flying ship. The cultivator rulers were much more profound in the laws and profound mysteries. They could easily see what was happening within, but seeing was just seeing. The unseen law suppression within the Arcadia flying ship prevented them from entering. The battle has begun. Primal Master caressed his beard. The illusory realm is indeed a counter to the ancestor mother religion. It has instantly caused them to lose 12 protectors. Bloody ruler, Nile praised. They're just slightly weaker protectors. Those apex protectors aren't that easy to deal with. Temporal Island Lord coldly said, I hope that we don't lose too badly in this first battle. Bloodblade turned silent too. Their eyesight was sharp. They could deduce the gap in strength between both parties. This was a clear gap. Your disciple isn't bad. Abyss Primogenitor chuckled. It seems that his Tao of Mirage has improved greatly. Temporal Island Lord coldly said, It's a pity that the Tao of Mirage is too weak in a battle. Bloodblade was only watching carefully. He was collecting detailed intelligence on the Ancestor Mother Religion protectors. After all, their understanding of the Ancestor Mother Religion was too little. This battle was a true large-scale battle between paragons, and it was also a good opportunity to collect intelligence. Within the Arcadia flying ship, the paragons from both cosmoses began a frenzied battle. One side wanted to occupy this cosmos for survival, and the other wanted to defend against these outsiders. Both parties were fighting with their lives on the line. They were using their full strength. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction and the three holy protectors from the Ancestor Mother Religion clashed. One could see the golden-haired monkey being ferocious and tyrannical. His two hairy palms were wantonly attacking, suppressing Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction with his absolute strength. The muscular man wielding the wooden pole was only slightly weaker than the golden-haired monkey. He was still suppressing Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Furthermore, that wooden pole was unpredictable. When it struck the back of Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, it immediately burned a huge wound. Even the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's expression changed when the wooden staff was touched. As for the venom-tailed woman, she was much more sinister. Her tail instantly extended for tens of miles, twisting around like a chain. The tip of her tail was so poisonous that even Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction didn't dare to touch it with his body. Nirvana, a middle-aged man wearing a dark green robe, also joined them. He was the Monarch Hex Cricket, who was ranked just below the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Monarch Hex Cricket's entire body was shrouded in a layer of misty green light. He entered the fray with his bare hands. Pung! Monarch Hex Cricket used a single hand to block the full strength attack of the robust man wielding the wooden staff. Although his body staggered 2 steps back, only a black scar appeared on his arm. However, under the expulsion of the green light on his body, the scar instantly disappeared. This Monarch Hex Cricket's attacks are very weak, but he can be said to be undying and indestructible. Even if the 3 of us surround him, we won't be able to injure him. The golden-haired monkey transmitted, There's no need to care about him. Let's deal with great destruction with all our strength. The 3 holy protectors were not willing to tangle with Monarch Hex Cricket. But Monarch Hex Cricket was doing his best to tangle with them and help Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Monarch Hex Cricket being called undying and indestructible was not a lie. He was truly too tyrannical and heaven-defying. He had once presided over the 6 heavenly wheels Black Rain Eden, and all the protectors from the Ancestor Mother Religion could do nothing against him. They used all their treasures to shatter his body and extinguish his soul. He could even come back to life from thin air. This life force made even rulers envious. With the help of Hex Cricket, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction could barely fight against the 3 holy protectors. He would not be surrounded and killed in a few moves. Kill! 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 The other paragons were also fighting against the protectors from the Ancestor Mother Religion. The Ancestor Mother Religion protectors were relatively clearer in their techniques. The first type was tyrannical and had heaven-defying strength and speed. The second type was a transformation of their body. Either their hair would turn into a terrifying weapon, or their arms would turn into a sharp weapon, or their eyes would shoot out light. All of them were hard to deal with. The third type was a seemingly weak body. Even if they were weak, their bodies were generally stronger than the cultivators. They were fighting with all their strength, but every cultivator present was extremely vigilant. We must not let them obtain our blood. Bloodblade transmitted the information to them. These protectors had the weakest bodies, and they specialized in strange curses. They had to rely on something like hair or bones, but the most effective was blood. Even though they were the weakest during battle, they would be the greatest threat the moment they obtained the blood. On the other hand, the cultivators were using all sorts of methods. They could transform into lightning, flames, or bamboo leaves. Even when they were fighting, they used formations, domains, and voodoo poisons to launch sneak attacks. Regardless, they were using all sorts of techniques. But hong hong hong, the moment both sides clashed, there was a clear change in the situation. The cultivators were immediately at a disadvantage. Die for me. A protector from the ancestor mother religion wielded a huge stone axe and furiously hacked down. A paragon cultivator paled seeing this. He immediately retreated and tried his best to defend and preserve his life. But with a hong sound, his entire body was blasted into powder by the power contained within the stone axe. Kill. Die. The apex protectors of the ancestor mother religion specialized in strength. They could suppress others. That time, when Dongbua Shuang fought with Protector Huizhu, he was suppressed. Those apex protectors with transformed bodies could suppress the paragons in terms of strength, and their attacks were even weirder. More importantly, there were a total of 32 apex protectors, including the 3 holy protectors. And how many apex paragons were there in the cultivator cosmos? They could not even compare to half of the other party. The remaining were ordinary paragons. The gap in strength between ordinary paragons was too huge. There were those who were formidable in survival, such as Leaf Saint, who could barely survive. Those who were weaker would simply be swept away. And the apex paragons like Paragon Hua Chung, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, Devil Phoenix, Mysterious North Imperial Empress, and others could fight against an apex protector. They could even assist other paragons. But that was all. They did not have much of an advantage. The battle between both sides, the cultivators who had the advantage were Water Devil King, White Sovereign King, Bitter Cultivator, Purgatory Great Commander, and Dongbua Shuang, who had revealed his true strength. Kill. Water Devil King's body seemed to be condensed from water. His ferocious might overflowed into the sky. He wielded a venomous trident. He attacked wantonly. When the protectors attacked him, Water Devil King's body would turn into endless streams of water and dissipate before condensing in the distance to attack another protector. Even the ruler Primal Master could not kill his body. He could only imprison him. And in terms of offense, he was much stronger than Monarch Hex Cricket. He was more ruthless and tyrannical. Almost instantaneously, a protector from the ancestor mother religion began asking for help. Humph, the silvery white-armored handsome White Sovereign King was currently surrounded by a layer of blood. Shua. His figure seemed illusory and real at the same time. He would occasionally turn into a blood fog, and the ancestor mother religion could not attack him. At the same time, he was displaying that terrifying sword technique. Every sword contained an extreme power. That time, he had used a single sword to heavily injure Dongbua Shuang, who had cultivated the 4th layer of extreme annihilation mysterious body. This sword technique was powerful and mysterious. The protectors of the ancestor mother religion could not defend against it at all. Bitter Cultivator was also barehanded. He looked thin and small, yet he was the strongest amongst the paragons. His strength did not lose out to the apex protectors of the ancestor mother religion. More importantly, every single fist of his contained laws and profound mysteries close to the ruler realm. Pong. He punched out. Even Protector Huizhu, who dared to face it head-on, would be sent flying back while spurting out blood. One could see him fighting fiercely, one after another. The protectors of the ancestor mother religion were sent flying. None could obstruct him. Die. Purgatory Great Commander's entire body was covered in a layer of flames. He held a spear in his hand. He had also cultivated the myriad devil true body. Even though his strength was slightly weaker than the apex protectors, the gap was not too big. In addition to his vicious spear technique and profound comprehension of the realm, his armor was also incredibly strong. For a moment, the apex protectors could not defend against him. Compared to the previous 4, Dongbua Shuang, who had cultivated the Tao of Mirage to the pinnacle, was the most mysterious and unpredictable one present. His attacks came and went without a trace, and this gave the cultivators a pleasant surprise. Chapter 726. Who? Donghua Shui Ying was clad in black armor. He wielded a black spear, the blood serpent spear. He was the strangest person present. He disappeared without a trace. Following Pu Qi, the spear appeared from nothingness. It appeared right in front of the forehead of an apex protector. Being an apex protector, there was an unseen ripple on the surface of his body. It was amazing that the spear could reach his forehead. His Tao of Mirage had reached the pinnacle level, and his attacks were stealthy. If he had just opened the Tao of Mirage, he would not have been able to conceal his attacks. In addition, he cultivated the 6 Sever Sword styles and Great Extinction Scripture. These 2 Tao of Slaughter absolute arts were fused into his spear techniques, making the power of his Tao of Slaughter more ferocious. At the same time, he cultivated the myriad devil true body, just like Purgatory Great Commander and Bitter Cultivator. With his superhuman strength and terrifying spear techniques, the Protector could not defend in time. The spearhead pierced straight into the head of the Protector. It was just that the resistance was more obvious. He had to exert force to retract the spear. Half of the head of the Protector was gone, but the wound was still recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. Clearly, his life force was strong. Brother Donghua, beautifully done. Paragon Huocheng was having a hard time because there were a total of 3 apex protectors attacking him. Just now, Donghua Shui Ying had helped him with a spear. So. Shui Ying would disappear time after time, appearing time after time to launch a sneak attack. He would pierce through the body of the apex protectors from the ancestor mother religion time after time, making the situation of the cultivators clearly better. If not for him, the situation would have worsened. Even though Devil Phoenix could teleport, her offense was much weaker. Her attacks could not even break through the skin of the apex protectors from the ancestor mother religion. Things aren't looking good. Donghua Shui Ying was clear. The life force of these apex protectors is too strong. My spear can only injure them, and they will recover very quickly. Even the weakest apex protectors who specialize in killing curses can turn their bodies into mist, making it hard to kill them. Reaching the level of the apex protectors, it was hard to kill them. Even the voodoo poison in the blood serpent spear posed little threat to the top protectors. The top protectors could forcibly expel the voodoo poison. If it's a one-on-one fight, I'll be able to kill a peak protector if I spend more time. However, they had the advantage in numbers, and they would help each other. Once a peak protector was heavily injured, the other companions would immediately come to their aid. It can even be directly stored in a grotto heaven treasure. Donghua Shui Ying shook his head. The protectors from the ancestor mother religion who had fallen into a deep sleep in the illusory realm were kept into the Eden treasure. Therefore, it was easy to injure a top protector. However, it was very difficult to kill them. Firstly, his vitality was indeed very strong. Secondly, he had a large number of companions. It was impossible for him to watch as a top protector gradually died. Not good. Monarch Destruction's expression changed. Even though his survivability was better, he was still heavily injured. His blood landed in the hands of a thin woman from the ancestor mother religion. This thin woman held onto the blood and began executing a mysterious killing curse. Killing curse was also a name given by the bloodshed god emperor and the others. It was a very mysterious power. It was not any power that Donghua Shui Ying and the others were familiar with. It was extremely mysterious, descending from an extremely high level. Monarch Destruction's face turned red. He lost control of his body and began tumbling in midair. A protector from the ancestor mother religion immediately rushed out. He wanted to kill Monarch Destruction with a single strike. South Devil Phoenix immediately appeared. She extended her white fingers and grabbed hold of Monarch Destruction before keeping him into her Eden treasure. Donghua Shui Ying also appeared, though he was slightly slower. He exchanged glances with Devil Phoenix. The two of them had already helped many paragons during crucial moments. The situation is too bad. Donghua Shui Ying thought. Retreat. Monarch Hex Cricket suddenly transmitted an order. He had already risked his life to save the heavily injured Heavenly Emperor of great destruction. Following his order, all the paragons began retreating. Go! Dongbua Shui immediately entered the Mirage world. At the same time, his luminous sun force turned into many white light arms that entered the real world. They directly grabbed onto the paragons like Paragon Huacheng and the others. They did not resist and entered the Mirage world. The Demon Phoenix also helped the surrounding honorable ones. Then everyone quickly teleported away with a whoosh. The protectors of the Ancestor Mother religion were still in midair. They are really fast at escaping. If not for that Devil Phoenix and Dongbua Shuang, we could have killed a few more paragons. The two of them are very slippery. These protectors of the Ancestor Mother religion were still feeling unresigned. If one said that mysterious North Imperial Empress relied on arrays to teleport within the Arcadia flying ship, she would have to rely on arrays to execute her moves. That Dongbua Shui Ying and Devil Phoenix had opened their own Daos and could move with a single thought. That was why they could appear and disappear unpredictably. That Dongbua Shui Ying's offense is really formidable. Even the Apex protectors were pierced through by his spear. Protector Hua Zhu clutched his chest. The hole on his chest was currently recovering. He muttered, "His improvement is too fast. That time in the 6th heavenly wheel, he could not even break through my skin." According to the intelligence, he has cultivated the myriad devil true body. The golden-haired monkey muttered, and from the looks of it, it isn't just the myriad devil true body. His spear techniques are extremely vicious and filled with a destructive aura. Amen, he is indeed a variable. He has reduced the number of paragons we killed this time. The venom-tailed girl added, "How are our losses?" The golden-haired monkey asked. A violet-robed female protector answered, "Protector Qian, when we were attacked by the illusory realm, 6 protectors had their true bodies and avatars destroyed." The protectors present turned silent at that moment. True bodies and avatars destroyed? That was a complete and utter death. If we don't fight, our entire race will be exterminated. The muscular man with a wooden staff softly said, "There might be more comrades dying. This is unavoidable. Other than them and the sleeping protectors, because Water Devil King, Purgatory Great Commander, and Dongbua Shui Ying ambushed us too suddenly. We have lost another 3 protectors." The violet-robed female protector said, "The other protectors are fine. As for us, we have killed a total of 8 paragons." On a grassy plain in the Arcadia flying ship, a group of paragons were here. All of them were in a sorry state. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's expression was cold. He was arrogant, but this time, if not for Monarch Hex Cricket risking his life to save him, he would have died there. Some of the paragons present looked at Dongbua Shui Ying with a strand of gratitude. This time, he had indeed helped many paragons. This battle had also allowed Dongbua Shui Ying to gain the recognition of all paragons. How is he weak? The new 3 ancestors of the Bloodshed God Palace have said that he is the weakest. I believe he should be the strongest. Dongbua Shui Ying was indeed strong. The Tao of Mirage gave him the qualifications to be ranked as an apex paragon. In addition to the Tao of Slaughter Absolute Art, and Myriad Devil True Body, he could be ranked alongside Water Devil King, White Sovereign King, Bitter Cultivator, and others. Even Paragon Hua Chung, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, and Mysterious North Imperial Empress were slightly weaker. After all, they only specialized in a single Tao. The other party is truly strong. Dongbua Shui Ying was pondering. Furthermore, the other party did not display any precious treasures during the initial battle. I've heard that they once relied on treasures to shatter the body of Monarch Hex Cricket. This time, it is clear that they did not truly risk their lives. That's right, this is just the initial battle. They know that even if we die, we can still refine avatars. Thus, they are very patient. Fellow Paragons. Monarch Hex Cricket chuckled. We know too little about the Ancestor Mother religion. According to the plan, this is just the initial battle to understand the other party's foundation. That's good. We'll be targeting them. We might have lost 8 paragons, but they will be able to cultivate back soon. As for the ancestor mother religion, they have already lost 9 protectors. It is impossible for them to replenish their strength. Everyone felt slightly better after hearing that, but they were clear that none of the apex protectors from the ancestor mother religion had died. They were completely suppressed in the previous battle. In the starry sky outside the Arcadia flying ship, the rulers watching from afar were frowning. Using the first battle to understand the other party's foundation had given them a bad feeling. Primal Master chuckled to alleviate the tension. Blood Edge, your disciple Dongbua Shui Ying is not bad. His current combat power is definitely that of an apex paragon. Furthermore, his survivability is at the peak. If we were to compile the Cosmos Deity Demon list, he should be ranked 15th this time. If his combat power could match Great Destruction, the situation would be much better. It's a pity that his offense is still lacking. Temporal Island Lord shook his head. He was speaking the truth. If Dongbua Shui Ying cultivated the Tao of slaughter to the pinnacle, coupled with the myriad devil true body, he would be able to fight against the 3 holy protectors. But now, the golden-haired monkey could send Dongbua Shui Ying flying with a single slap. Bitter Cultivator might have sufficient offensive power, but he was lacking in survivability. He did not dare to participate in battles at that level. Only Hex Cricket and Great Destruction could fight at that level. How long has he cultivated for? Primal Master shook his head. Let's not talk about Snow Eagle anymore. Blood Edge chuckled. The situation isn't good. Even though we have yet to use our full strength, the other party has yet to display any formidable treasures. They are suppressing us paragons just by relying on the number of apex protectors. How troublesome. If we really can't do it, even if the Arcadia flying ship loses this battle, there's still us. Abyss Primogenitor chuckled. We hold a clear advantage in terms of rulers. We can afford to lose. There's no need to worry too much. Myriad God Palace Head was relatively confident. Empress Qian, he also chuckled by the side. We still have a chance in this battle. Blood Edge continued observing the situation within the Arcadia flying ship. The combat power displayed by his disciple Dongbua Shui Ying made him feel gratified. But Blood Edge was clear that this combat power could not affect the overall situation. The chances of victory in this battle were still relatively low. Even if the chances of victory are low, as long as we grab hold of the opportunity, we can turn the tables. Blood Edge's eyes were filled with a strand of expectation. For this battle, the ancestor mother religion had made preparations. Naturally, he had a backup plan too. Chapter 727. Moments later, Your Majesty, God Emperor, Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Monarch Hex Cricket, and Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction used the array to teleport out of the Arcadia flying ship, arriving in front of Bloodblade. Bloodblade nodded. Following that, the surrounding area became chaotic and blurry, making it difficult to probe. Bloodblade sure is careful, said Primal Master with a smile. He should have made some arrangements. He has more moves than us. The Abyss Primogenitor also laughed. The Bloodblade was the strongest in the entire Cultivator Cosmos in terms of direct combat, weapon refinement, and array formations. He had reached the pinnacle of the ruler realm in all 3 Daos and was the most comprehensive and perfect. Although Qing Jun also had a bit of his demeanor and was also good at 3 paths. However, Qing Jun was better at fighting. She was much more lacking in refining tools and arrays. Phew! The surrounding scenery became clear. Bloodblade ordered go. Yes. Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Monarch Hex Cricket, and Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction immediately obeyed and rushed back to the Arcadia flying ship. Bloodshed, you are too careful. It is fine if you are guarding against those ancestor mother religion spying on you. But why are you guarding against us? Temporal Island Lord shook his head. Bloody Ruler Nile added, that's right. Why are you guarding against us? All right, what plan do you have to deal with the ancestor mother religion? No matter how I think about it, I can't think of winning. We feel that we won't be able to win, but Bloodblade might have a way. Empress Qian, he smiled. What will we do? I'm only good at formations, so I'll borrow the power of formations to fight again. Bloodblade swept his gaze across the surrounding rulers, including bloody ruler Nile. His expression remained calm as he chuckled. The protectors from the ancestor mother religion are much weaker in terms of laws and profound mysteries. My array should be of some use. Monarch Green, Peng Yi, Purgatory Ruler, and the others nodded in agreement. Everyone had also vaguely guessed that at this time, the most effective and easiest thing to do was to use some powerful arrays. The Bloodblade was his forte, so he could refine it himself. Within the vast palace hall where the ancestor mother religion was located, many sect masters were there, watching the scene in midair. There were two regions on the scene. One was where the protectors were rushing over at high speed, while the other was where the paragons of the cultivator cosmos were discussing with voice transmissions. Previously, when Bloodblade summoned mysterious North Imperial Empress, Monarch Hex Cricket, and Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, what did they arrange? So careful. These sect masters were all paying close attention. Very soon, the fanged religious leader said, Religious leader Nico sent news that Bloodblade should have given some arrays to Monarch Hex Cricket and the other two. Of course, there might be some mistakes in the information. Spell formation? All of them nodded slightly and felt relieved. This was within their expectations. The protectors and venerables of the two great cosmoses were fighting. It was his first battle, so he was a little blind. From a second time onwards, the venerables were no longer the same. They became more cunning, and with the help of the mysterious North Imperial Empress terrifying array, they launched sneak attacks again and again. Those arrays were personally refined by Bloodblade, and were specifically designed to target the weaknesses of the protectors. By relying on the arrays, he could separate them and defeat them one by one. Of course, the ancestor mother religion would retaliate. The three berserk holy protectors could use brute force to break through. After all, other than being weaker in the laws and profound mysteries, they were at the ruler level in terms of pure power. It was hard for mysterious North Imperial Empress to resist against the three holy protectors just by relying on the arrays. But even so, ambushes after ambushes and the variations of the arrays still allowed the cultivators to reap some benefits. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. Who? On a tall mountain, a group of paragons were resting here. Donghua Shuiying sat on a huge rock. Looking at Paragon Hua Chung, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, Purgatory Great Commander and others, he could not help but sigh. During these 2 days, we have fought more than 100 times. The majority of the paragons on our side have died before. Some have died more than 10 times. Fortunately, they could rely on their true bodies to cultivate back. As for the injuries of their souls being split, they could rely on time acceleration to recover within a short period. Usually, they would maintain a time acceleration of 100 times. But at this crucial moment, everyone did not hesitate to consume large amounts of deity crystals and energy to increase the time acceleration to 10,000 times. That would allow their souls to recover faster. Regarding this, Bloodblade and Abyss Primogenitor had also bestowed large amounts of deity crystals. At this moment, none were stingy. Naturally, there were those who had been living well like the undying Monarch Hex Cricket, like Water Devil King, White Sovereign King, and Donghua Shuiying. As for Bitter Cultivator, Purgatory Great Commander, Paragon Hua Chung, and Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, all of them had died before. For example, Paragon Hua Cheng's true body was imprisoned in the Lake Heart Island's Destruction Eden. Currently, as a ruler, Peng Yi had personally gone to the Lake Heart Island. His status in the Army of Destruction was higher than Donghua Shuiying. He had personally spoken, and Paragon Hua Chung had indeed been imprisoned for a long time. That venom-tailed holy protector is truly ruthless. Donghua Shuiying could not help but touch his chest. After so many battles, the only time he was injured was when that venom-tailed woman attacked Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. She suddenly launched a sneak attack without any warning. That tail suddenly appeared in front of Dongbua Shui Ying and pierced through Dongbua Shui Ying's armor at lightning speed. Fortunately, Dongbua Shui Ying's reaction was fast enough. He immediately entered the Mirage World. Within the Mirage World, the venom-tailed woman's might was greatly reduced. Thus, she only managed to injure Dongbua Shuang. Bitter Cultivator and Purgatory Great Commander had died in the hands of that venom-tailed woman. Her sneak attack was simply too fast. It was too sudden. Furthermore, the power of her venom-tailed tail was frightening. Even Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction did not dare to face it head-on. Bitter Cultivator and Purgatory Great Commander might have cultivated the myriad devil true body, but they could not resist against the venom-tailed tail of that woman and lost their lives. Even though we have died many times on our side, we can always refine them back. The deaths on the side of the Ancestor Mother religion would mean that they have lost a significant portion of their combat power. Shui Ying could see the hope of victory. Over the past 2 days, they had fought more than 100 battles. There were only 19 protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion who were still fighting. They were all apex protectors. As for the ordinary protectors, they were kept into their Eden treasures and could no longer participate in the battles. 19 apex protectors. As for the other apex protectors, they were all killed. Under the arrays bestowed by Bloodblade, the protectors were often trapped within the arrays. It was hard for them to support each other. That was how they were gradually killed. Even though the arrays bestowed by Teacher are mystical, the Ancestor Mother religion has only used 2 treasures that are considered formidable. It seems that they have yet to unleash their true power. Shuang frowned. The protectors of the Ancestor Mother religion had revealed 2 formidable treasures. One of them was the jade green crystal that the venom-tailed woman took out when the golden-haired monkey was trapped by the array and directly embedded it between her eyebrows. Following that, the venom-tailed woman swung her tail and tore the arrays apart. Her power was terrifying, but that jade green crystal rock had clearly shrunk by a size. She kept the jade green crystal rock and did not use it again. The other treasure belonged to that muscular man who wielded a wooden pole. For the sake of saving more than 10 apex protectors who were about to be wiped out, he opened his mouth and spat out a stream of water, tearing the arrays apart. Just these 2 times, she displayed her terrifying techniques. At other times, even though the apex protectors of the Ancestor Mother religion would occasionally fall during the prolonged battles, they would rather watch as this happened. They did not use these life-risking techniques. They are waiting. Dongbua Shui Ying could see this point. So. A huge array illusion appeared in midair. Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Monarch Hex Cricket, and Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction appeared. All the paragons looked up. Everyone knew that mysterious North Imperial Empress and the others had gone to see Bloodblade. Every time they rested after a battle, the 3 would go to see Bloodblade. Let's prepare for another operation. Mysterious North Imperial Empress revealed a grin. Clearly, as the number of protectors decreased, everyone saw hope of victory. This time, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was just about to speak when his expression changed. He looked to the distance. Dongbua Shui Ying, Devil Phoenix, Water Devil King, and the other paragons turned in that direction because a terrifying aura was erupting there. Hurry over. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's expression changed. He anxiously shouted. Hong, Devil Phoenix borrowed on her domain to envelop all the paragons present. Following that, with a so, she teleported over. Star. Chapter 728. The 19 protectors from the Ancestor Mother religion were currently flying at high speed in a rainbow light. Of the 3 leading holy protectors, that venom tail girl was looking downwards. There seemed to be a pagoda-shaped array revolving in her eyes. Unseen ripples were emitted from her eyes and spread downwards, sweeping across a large region. Wherever they passed, they would be swept away. Protector Qian, the muscular man with a wooden pole, transmitted anxiously. We have been in the primal chaos flying ship for 2 days. We have scoured through many regions, Yet we have yet to find the core controlling the ship. And those paragons have relied on the arrays bestowed by Bloodblade to make us suffer. We have lost a lot of our combat power. If this continues, it will be disadvantageous to us. The golden-haired monkey calmly transmitted, "Endure. We do not have many treasures with us. Furthermore, it will be the most dangerous moment when we find the core of the primal chaos flying ship." I understand. It's just that we have scoured through more than half the region within the Arcadia flying ship. We have also scoured through the most probable locations. We should have found it by now, yet we have not succeeded after so long. The muscular man with a wooden pole felt anxious. The Apex Protectors were of great help to the three of them. If not for the group of Apex Protectors supporting them, just the three of them, Donghua Shui Ying, White Sovereign King, and Water Devil King might not be able to win if they fought one-on-one. But with a large group of paragons working together and relying on arrays and other techniques, along with Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction and Monarch Hex Cricket, the three Holy Protectors could only be exhausted to death. Fortunately, they had many companions helping them. But now, their advantage was no longer that clear. Who? The Venom-tailed girl was still scouring the area. In the distance, there was a chain of towering mountains. As the Venom-tailed girl and the other protectors flew above, they looked downwards. The pagoda-shaped array in their eyes revolved, causing an unseen ripple to sweep downwards. It also engulfed many of the mountains. Suddenly, Hong Long, this unseen ripple had triggered something. The entire mountain range began trembling. A terrifying aura surged into the sky and spread out. This aura was grand and cold. When this aura swept across these protectors, every single one of them felt their hearts trembling. They could not help but feel fear. Clearly, the difference in strength was too great. This is it. The venom-tailed girl, the golden-haired monkey, the muscular man with a wooden pole, and the other apex protector from the ancestor mother religion revealed looks of excitement as they looked down at the continuous mountain range. Who? A group of paragons appear by the side. They were Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, Monarch Hex Cricket, Donghua Shui Ying, White Sovereign King, Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Purgatory Great Commander, Paragon Hua Chung, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, and many others. Their gazes landed on the mountain range below. The entire mountain range was trembling, and the ice-cold aura that surged into the sky had shocked Donghua Shui Ying and the rest. What an evil aura! When this aura brushed past his body, Donghua Shui Ying could sense the coldness and evilness within it. He was very powerful. The aura contained a person's will. Just like Peng Yi, he gave off a gentle vibe. For example, Monarch Qing seemed to dominate everything, crush everything, and make everything submit. On the other hand, Donghua Shui Ying's aura was reserved with a hint of sharpness. He did not have the aggressive, evil aura of those great devils and demons. They discovered the core. The group of religious leaders within the ancestor mother religion were all excited. They revealed looks of anticipation. The primal chaos flying ship was a legendary item. Their hometown cosmos had already aged to the point of collapse, and they had only learned about the primal chaos flying ship from the sacred scriptures. They had never personally seen it before. Hence, they could only use the most foolish method to search for the core of the primal chaos flying ship. Fortunately, they still had some understanding of it. Cultivators like Donghua Shui Ying and the rest of the cosmos were completely clueless about it. They did not even know the name of the primal chaos flying ship, and had even given it the name Arcadia flying ship. This is, in the starry sky outside the primal chaos flying ship. The 10 rulers saw everything happening within. They were all startled. Even though the cultivators had explored it many times in the past, there had never been such a huge disturbance before. Black North, hurry over. Bloodshed God Emperor immediately ordered. Very soon, relying on the teleportation array, Mysterious North Imperial Empress arrived at Bloodblade at the fastest speed possible. The surroundings turned blurry once again, preventing the other rulers from seeing clearly. At that moment, The surroundings became clear, and mysterious North Imperial Empress had already retreated. Bloodblade, what do you plan to do? Bloody Ruler, Nile asked. Bloodblade coldly looked into the primal chaos flying ship. What can I do? I'll just do my best to deal with it. He did not speak any further. If he did not have any suspicions, it would be normal for Bloody Ruler to say these words. But now that he had his suspicions, Bloodblade faintly discovered that Bloody Ruler, Nile, seemed to be too proactive. The crucial moment has arrived. The outcome of this battle will be revealed soon. Primal Master also looked into the primal chaos flying ship. Who would have thought that the Arcadia flying ship has been in our cultivator cosmos for so long? Yet the ancestor mother religion has discovered its uniqueness. In the world within the primal chaos flying ship, high up in the sky, the protectors and paragons from the ancestor mother religion did not act. They were looking at the trembling mountain range below. The protectors treasured their strength. Their goal was to control this primal chaos flying ship. Since the cultivators did not act, they were naturally more than happy to do so. And Dongbua Shuiying and the rest were not in a rush to act either. They knew that this was the crucial moment, and they did not want any slip-ups. The array illusion flashed and dissipated. Mysterious North Imperial Empress also returned. Hong Long Long, deep underground in the trembling mountain range, an unknown object was gradually rising up. This was a unique object. Other than looking with their eyes, Dongbua Shuiying and the rest could not see it with any other methods, including the Mirage World. As it rose up, the surrounding soil and rocks tumbled down, revealing its true appearance. Sculpture. Shuiying was stunned. The other paragons and the protectors were startled too. They did not know much about it. What emerged from the depths of the mountain range was a majestic statue. The sculpture was that of a silvery white male wearing violet armor. His body seemed to be made of metal, and his eyes were like two enormous red gems. He did not have any eyebrows, and his eyes seemed calm. But it was this calm gaze that made Dongbua Shuiying and the other paragons and protectors feel a chill in their hearts. They could feel that this was an existence that had killed countless people. Even though it was just a sculpture, it was still like a living being, causing them to feel fear. You guys have finally woken me up. The sculpture revealed a smile as he spoke in an unknown language. But when one's combat power reached this level, language was merely a facade. Shuiying and the others could understand the true meaning contained within the language. I am the seventh sacred son under the ancestor bone, throne, Gu Qian Luo. The sculpture's voice boomed across the world. I am heavily injured. My primal chaos flying ship can only stop at this cosmos. But you guys are lucky because I need your help. Chapter 729. Dongbua Shuiying felt goosebumps in his heart when he heard that. He looked at that huge sculpture that was emitting a sinister and cold aura. He is heavily injured? In other words, he is not dead? This Arcadia flying ship. No, it should be called the Primal Chaos Flying Ship. This Primal Chaos Flying Ship has been in our cosmos for 3 epochs. Yet its owner is still alive despite being heavily injured. Even the destruction reincarnation cycle of the cosmos epoch could not injure him. Even the Lake Heart Island Master and Ancestor Devil are no longer around. They should have left this cosmos. Yet he is still here? Dongbua Shuiying felt his heart surging with waves. The other paragons and the protectors from the ancestor mother religion were similarly shocked. This outcome was out of their expectations. The ancestor mother religion thought that this primal chaos flying ship was ownerless, and it would be relatively easier to control it. But now it had an owner. That would be troublesome. With how powerful the primal chaos flying ship was, if its owner was not willing, the ancestor mother religion and the cultivator cosmos could not snatch it away. Dongbua Shuiying. A voice suddenly resounded in his mind. Amen. Dongbua Shuiying immediately reacted. This was the voice of the Black Gourd Treasure Spirit. Don't be frightened by this fellow. I've investigated him, and he is at the ruler realm. The Black Gourd Treasure Spirit sneered. Furthermore, he is heavily injured. He has probably relied on a secret technique to recover slightly over a long period of time. But I reckon that he will have to continue sleeping soon. Ruler realm? Dongbua Shui Ying let out a sigh of relief inwardly. Fortunately, it was still within the acceptable range of his cultivator cosmos. Looking at the aura and strength of his soul, even if he is in perfect condition, he should only be close to your teacher's bloodblade. He should be weaker than your teacher. The Black Gourd Treasure Spirit said, naturally, it is hard to say if he has any powerful external treasures. But even if he does, it is impossible for him to fight with his full strength given how heavily injured he is. That is why he restricted the primal chaos flying ship to those below the ruler realm. Dongbua Shui Ying was enlightened. No wonder rulers could not enter. The rulers outside, the primal chaos flying ship, were in an uproar. Still alive? How did the owner of this primal chaos flying ship survive the reincarnation cycle of the cosmos epic? Temporal Island Lord, Empress Qianhe, and the others were extremely shocked. However, the primal master said calmly, "It's very difficult for us to survive the reincarnation of the cosmos epic. This is because this is our hometown. We were born from our hometown universe, so our hometown universe restrains us the most. Furthermore, to resist the annihilation reincarnation of the cosmos epic, it probably has some secret techniques. It's just that we don't know." Yes. Bloodshed, God Emperor nodded. He looked at the sculpture within the primal chaos flying ship. I can deduce that he should be a ruler. Since he has this mysterious primal chaos flying ship, and could survive through the cosmos destruction reincarnation cycle, and is also the so-called seventh sacred son under the ancestor bone throne. I reckon that he should be quite strong. He should be an absolute apex existence amongst rulers, but there's nothing to worry about. Since he is heavily injured and has been hibernating until now, he must be afraid of something. You're right. If his injuries weren't severe, he wouldn't have remained silent for nearly 3 chaos epics. The bloody ruler, Nile said hurriedly. The others all agreed with him. Within the vast palace hall of the ancestor mother religion, the group of religious leaders were frowning. The situation had undergone a huge change. It's actually an item with an owner. I wonder if our plan will succeed. These religious leaders were slightly worried. They did not have the confidence to fight against the Cultivator Cosmos rulers head-on. Firstly, the Cultivator Cosmos rulers were generally stronger than them. Even though they had an advantage in numbers, they would still have the upper hand if they relied on treasures. Secondly, the Cultivator Cosmos rulers could rapidly refine avatars. One could see from the battle within the primal chaos flying ship that they could continuously refine avatars and exhaust them to death. Since they did not have the confidence to fight head-on, they yearned for this primal chaos flying ship even more. Since this expert from outside the cosmos is heavily injured and requires help, it's not impossible for us to temporarily use the primal chaos flying ship. These religious leaders were slightly anxious and longing, because they could not afford to lose. If they lost, their entire race, all of them who had transcended, would perish. The huge sculpture that was emitting a cold and wicked aura had a smile by the edge of its mouth. It looked at the group of paragons and protectors as though it was looking at ants. It continued, "I need your help. Rest assured, I won't harm you. By then, I'll make an ancient oath with all of you. The moment we make the oath, you'll understand that it is fair and cannot be violated. We are willing to provide our help." The golden-haired monkey transmitted, "But we need to temporarily borrow your primal chaos flying ship. There's no need for us to refine it. We just need to temporarily use it." The huge sculpture glanced at the golden-haired monkey. "We are willing to help you, but we have to know what you need us to do first. Furthermore, you must not help the group of ancestor mother religion protectors." Monarch Hex Cricket also transmitted. Both parties made the same decision without prior consultation. No matter what, they had to agree first. After all, they had yet to make the oath. They had to take the initiative first. Haha, I've been to many cosmos. My cultivation system is far stronger than yours. The huge sculpture casually pointed. At that moment, a transparent water droplet appeared and landed on the body of Leaf Saint. Dongbua Shuiying and the rest looked at Leaf Saint. Leaf Saint himself was startled, but he soon revealed a look of pain. That transparent water droplet gradually fused into the skin and bones of his arm. Very soon, Leaf Saint revealed a look of joy. He lowered his head to look at his right arm. His arm had already been covered with a silver armor. A terrifying energy was currently hidden within the silver armor. He could control it with a single thought. Hong! Leaf Saint waved his hand in all directions, causing the surrounding space to tremble. This caused the expressions of the protectors to change. This was because the strength of this Leaf Saint was rapidly rising, and he was already comparable to the ordinary protectors of the Ancestor Mother Religion. One had to know, the Ancestor Mother Religion was most proud of their strength. Currently, Leaf Saint's strength had risen to the level of an ordinary protector. In addition to his advantage in the laws and profound mysteries, he could even fight against the apex protectors. Just like that, his strength rose. The paragons present, including Dongbua Shuiying, were speechless. It was not easy for them to obtain the myriad devil true body, yet this Leaf Saint had just fused a unique water droplet into his arm to form a protective armor, and his combat power had soared. Even though it could not compare to the myriad devil true body, it was already stronger than the 5th level of Extreme Annihilation Mysterious Body and the 5th volume of Luminous Sunday. I've said it before, my cultivation system is much stronger than yours. The huge sculpture chuckled. Since you guys have helped me, I'll help you guys too. By then, it won't just be a casual drop. By then, there will be a huge tub of this liquid for you guys to soak in, allowing you guys to form a complete protective armor. That will be much stronger than what you have now. This is just one of the benefits. If you guys help me, I won't mistreat my friends. Dongbua Shuiying and the rest were speechless. But I only need one person to help me. The huge sculpture swept his gaze across the group of paragons and protectors. I'm very vexed. Who should I choose? How about this? The huge sculpture laughed, even more brilliantly. I can see that those with weaker bodies should be the natives of this cosmos. The laws and profound mysteries you guys cultivate are the same as when I first arrived. And those from the Ancestor Mother Religion should be cultivating the so-called Ancestor Mother Cultivation System. The protectors of the Ancestor Mother Religion were greatly alarmed. Dongbua Snow Eagle and the rest were listening attentively. They did not know much about the Ancestor Mother Religion. The Ancestor Mother Cultivation System requires one to erect the Ancestor Mother altar and change the entire cosmos, turning it into the Ancestor Mother Cosmos. The moment the cosmos changes, the countless ordinary life forms in this cosmos will not be able to adapt to the new cosmos. They will all go extinct. Even the apex cultivators, world deities, and true gods might have stronger survivability, but the Ancestor Mother Cosmos will reject them. They will either worship the Ancestor Mother or be expelled. Your two races can't coexist. The huge sculpture chuckled. Since that's the case, let's continue killing. When there's only one brat left in the primal chaos flying ship, he will be my helper. Erect the Ancestor Mother altar? Dongbua Shuiying and the other paragons, as well as Bloodblade and the other rulers outside, were greatly alarmed. Only now did they understand what the Ancestor Mother Religion was planning. So that's the case. Bloodblade understood. He felt a wave of lingering fear. Today's 1 chapter, tomorrow's 3 chapters. Chapter 730. Bloodblade and the other rulers were vaguely grateful to this mysterious Gu Qianluo. If not for Gu Qianluo, they would still be clueless as to what the Ancestor Mother Religion was plotting, even though they knew they were up to no good. But now, they were clear. The Ancestor Mother Cultivation System and the Ancestor Mother Sacrificial Altar are planning to change the entire cosmos. They're planning to wipe out all sentient beings in our cosmos. We have yet to take the final step. We will die if we are forced to leave. Bloodblade, Primal Master, and the others were filled with overflowing killing intent. It was 10 to 100 times denser than before. Unknowingly, they no longer had a path of retreat. Everything was forced by the ancestor mother religion. Damn! Within the vast palace hall of the ancestor mother religion, the fanged religious leader and the other religious leaders had a slight change in expression. They were hidden in the dark, and the cultivators did not understand much about them. But now that Gu Qianluo had pointed it out, the cultivators would definitely risk their lives against them. Protector Qian, all of you must control this primal chaos flying ship at all costs. Currently, we have no path of retreat, and the cultivators will definitely fight us to the death. Without the primal chaos flying ship, our chances of victory will be very low. The fanged religious leader transmitted. With the primal chaos flying ship, they would be 100 times more confident. But without it, they would feel uncertain in their hearts. Within the primal chaos flying ship, in midair, Dongbua Shui Ying, Monarch Hex Cricket, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, and the other paragons received a transmission from Bloodblade. If not for this Gu Qianluo, we would not know that the ancestor mother religion has such a plan. They are planning to wipe out all sentient beings in our cosmos. This war will determine the survival of all cultivators, and even the weaker mortals. This primal chaos flying ship must not land in the hands of the ancestor mother religion. Dongbua Shui Ying and the others were also looking at that enormous sculpture below. The sculpture Gu Qianluo laughed. It was a sinister laugh. He said it so that both parties would kill even more crazily. His voice reverberated across the entire Eden world. Kill, kill. The weak shall die, and the strong shall live. Only the last one of you who survives is qualified to be my opponent. Lord Gu Qianluo. At another location, the golden-haired monkey, the leader of the protectors, said, "Amongst us and these paragons, there are some who specialize in survival. It will be hard for us to kill until only one remains." Gu Qianluo raised his head and looked at the golden-haired ape in the distance. He grinned and said, "What you said makes sense. I can see that those hook-tailed women beside you have extremely strong defense. Cultivators have green light on their bodies, so it will be very difficult for you to kill them." Venomous-tailed lady, Dongbua Shui Ying and the others were startled, but they quickly reacted. Gu Qianluo was talking about one of the 3 holy protectors, the venom-tailed woman. Her defense was extremely strong. For Gu Qianluo to praise him as extremely strong, just how strong was he? And the protectors from the ancestor mother religion were furious. Why was this primal chaos flying ship master, Gu Qianluo, exposing their secrets time and time again? In order not to stall for time, that's it. Gu Qianluo lowered his head and looked ahead. Those blood-colored, gem-like eyes of his shot-out light, forming a region covered in a faint red light. It was about 100 meters in diameter. No matter who among you, if you can stay in this region for more than 10 breaths of time, you will be my chosen helper. Gu Qianluo said, "All right, stop delaying for time. Let's begin." The moment he finished speaking, So, the protectors of the ancestor mother religion charged down towards that region covered in red light. However, the venerable cultivators teleported with the help of the demon phoenix and entered the area of the red light out of thin air. Even though it was just 100 meters, it was sufficient to accommodate them. Kill. The eyes of the golden-haired monkey were filled with killing intent. He brought the other protectors and charged over. Hong Long Long, the paragons and the protectors of the ancestor mother religion immediately began fighting. Mysterious North Imperial Empress was also activating her array. Monarch Hex Cricket was also defending against the 3 holy protectors. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was also doing his best. Dongbua Shui Ying, White Sovereign King, Water Devil King, Purgatory Great Commander, Bitter Cultivator, Paragon Huo Chung, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, and others were fighting with their lives on the line. Even that Leaf Saint, who had gotten a powerful arm protector, was fighting against the apex protectors of the ancestor mother religion. They were all doing their best. Die for me, as the golden-haired ape roared. golden light suddenly shot out of its eyes. The two beams of golden light were like two sharp weapons that pierced through the venerables. Because it was too sudden, 5 venerables were swept by it, and their bodies were cut. Fortunately, Dongbua Shui Ying relied on the Mirage World to teleport by the side of the golden-haired monkey. The blood serpent spear in his hand had already reached the eyes of the golden-haired monkey, interrupting his attack. The golden-haired monkey closed his eyes and did not care about anything else. He sent out a huge palm. This palm came sweeping over with a heaven-shaking power. Dongbua Shui Ying was not willing to face it head-on. He immediately teleported away. The other party's attack was too powerful. If he was brushed by it, he would be sent flying, and this was even when he was hiding in the Mirage World. If he did not hide in the Mirage World, he might be slapped to death. But for him to suddenly act and affect the Holy Protectors, it was clear how strong Dongbua Shui Ying was. After all, only he, White Sovereign King, and Water Devil King dared to do so. Naturally, Hex Cricket and Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction were fighting against the Holy Protectors. The battle was extremely bitter. The Ancestor Mother Religion was going all out. They wanted to win in the shortest time possible. Hence, the golden-haired monkey and the other 2 Holy Protectors took out their treasures. The golden-haired monkey's eyes would occasionally emit a golden light. It was powerful and sharp, sweeping everything in its path. The venom-tailed girl also took out a jade-green crystal and embedded it between her eyebrows. When she attacked, she would occasionally reveal a powerful attack that heavily injured even Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. That muscular man with a wooden pole would occasionally spit out a terrifying stream of water. This stream of water was incredibly heavy. Even Monarch Hex Cricket was sent flying by it. He could not help Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction at all, causing the heavily injured Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction to be killed once again. Just 3 breaths of time later, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was killed. Naturally, the true body of Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was outside the primal chaos flying ship. He believed that an avatar would rush back soon. But cultivating avatars required time. The Ancestor Mother Religion was fighting for every single bit of time they had. They were clear that they could not afford to waste it. The longer they spent, the more avatars the Paragons could refine, allowing them to continue risking their lives. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction could not defend against the 3 Holy Protectors at all. Do we not have any powerful treasures? Dongbua Shui Ying was anxious too. He had relied on the Mirage World to teleport time and time again, trying his best to put out the fires. He was also trying his best to help Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. But now, the 3 Holy Protectors were relying on treasures that were stronger than Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. How could they help? Even Monarch Hex Cricket was sent flying. Do we only have the arrays of Mysterious North Imperial Empress? Shui Ying was anxious. Because of the treasures bestowed by Bloodshed God Emperor, the arrays of Mysterious North Imperial Empress were formidable. During the previous 2 days, the cultivators were able to gain the upper hand. But now, the 3 Holy Protectors did not hesitate to use their treasures, causing their strength to soar. The cultivators had fallen into an absolute disadvantage. Actually, Shui Ying understood that in the battle between 2 large groups of Paragons, the treasures that could allow the Paragons to unleash the combat power of a ruler would have to be able to reverse the situation. How rare and precious were these treasures? The Ancestor Mother Religion did not have any path of retreat. They did not care about anything else to prepare these 3 treasures for the Holy Protectors. The Cultivator Cosmos did not have any treasures that could allow the Paragons to become so powerful. Chapter 731. Both sides were frantic and bitter in their fight. It was clear that the Ancestor Mother Religion side wanted to ensure that they could maintain within the red light region for 10 breaths of time before winning. And they were mainly protecting the venom-tailed girl. One could see that venom-tailed girl floating within the red light region. Her cold gaze swept across her surroundings. Her venom-tailed tail was still sneaking attacks time and time again. She had been standing within the red light region for more than 3 breaths of time, and nobody could move her position. Who? The blood serpent spear appeared from nothingness, stabbing towards the back of the venom-tailed girl. The venom-tailed girl did not evade at all. Instead, she faced this ferocious strike head-on. The spearhead was infused with Tao of Slaughter aura and the myriad devil true body as it pierced in her back. The venom-tailed girl merely staggered 3 steps forward before dissipating the impact. As for her injuries, not even her skin was broken. Dongbua Shui was faintly discernible from nothingness. His eyes were filled with anxiety. The defenses of this holy protector girl are too strong. I can't injure her at all. The other 2 protectors don't dare to face me head-on, but she dares. Her body is very formidable as well. She merely staggered 3 steps before dissipating the impact of my full-powered strike. There were few paragons with stronger offensive power than him. Purgatory, Great Commander, and Bitter Cultivator might have more ferocious offensive power, but their survivability was too weak. If they dared to get close, the 3 Holy Protectors could easily kill them. Water Devil King and White Sovereign King were slightly weaker in terms of strength. Monarch Hex Cricket was also weaker. The only strong Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction had already been killed by the 3 Holy Protectors. We will win for sure. The Venom-tailed girl's eyes were cold as she stood within the red light region. The golden-haired monkey and the muscular man with a wooden pole were helping their companions. Naturally, even though the 3 of them were within the red light region, they were still attacking the paragons with their venom-tailed tails. The golden-haired monkey was also waving his palm time after time. The muscular man with a wooden pole was also waving his wooden pole. They were completely suppressed. Kill! Water Devil King, Dongbua Shui, and White Sovereign King were still charging forward. Even though they were slightly mad, they were powerless. Are we going to lose just like that? Dongbua Shui and the others looked at the 3 Holy Protectors and the other top-notch protectors who were also fighting with their lives on the line. They had already lost more than half of their forces, and there was no hope of victory. As time passed, the cultivators became more and more anxious. You can't win. Finally, there was an angry shout. When the venom-tailed woman was in the red light for a full 6 breaths of time, the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, with the help of the mysterious North Imperial Mistress, teleported out once again. The Heavenly Monarch of Great Destruction let out a furious roar as his entire body turned into a black muddy river. Even his life force and karma disappeared as he turned into a black muddy river that surged towards the venom-tailed woman. The golden-haired monkey and the muscular man were shocked. Since when did the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction have such a move? Is this the secret of his immortality? The golden-haired monkey and the other 2 guessed. You should know, amongst the paragons, there were those that were ranked at the top. For example, Monarch Green, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, Hex Cricket, White Sovereign King, Water Devil King, and many others. All of them had the ability to survive in front of rulers. Unlike Monarch Green, Hex Cricket, and the others who had comprehended their own Daos. The reason why the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was able to survive was because his true body had always been a mystery. The moment his true body was hidden, no one would be able to find it. Therefore, his true body had always been hidden, and he had only sent his avatars out to battle. The reason why his true body could be hidden was because he had once entered a cosmos filled with death. There, he had obtained a strange treasure. Using it, he could merge his body with the treasure, turning into black mud. His aura and karma would disappear. Furthermore, the survival capabilities of the Black Muddy River were extremely strong. This was the reason why he, the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, had never submitted to any ruler. This time, there was no path of retreat. At the very last moment, he had finally sent his avatar to bring the most important treasure in. Kill. The golden-haired monkey's eyes shone with golden light. He could only use this move a few more times, but he couldn't care less. Who? The muscular man spat out a heavy stream of water from his mouth, blasting against the black, muddy river. The venom-tailed woman stood in midair. She wasn't in a hurry to act, because the jade-green crystal in her forehead was already very small. No matter how they attacked, the black, muddy river continued to surge. The two golden lights pierced through the black, muddy river, but the black, muddy river was still surging. The heavy stream of water struck against the black, muddy river, causing a portion of the black, muddy river to scatter in all directions. However, very quickly, it converged again. In an instant, the black, muddy river arrived in front of the venom-tailed woman with an unstoppable force. Countless black, muddy river instantly turned into a black figure. It was the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. The Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction brandished the long rod in his hand. His rod arts were profound, and even though the venom-tailed woman tried her best to defend, she was still struck on the chest by the rod. Her body was forced back by the impact. The attack of the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction was much more violent and ferocious than Dongbua Shuang. At this moment, the jade-green crystal in the forehead of the venom-tailed woman lit up. She tried her best to stop. At the same time, her venom-tailed tail wrapped around the golden-haired monkey not far away. The golden-haired monkey extended his hand to grab onto that venom-tailed woman's tail. Only by relying on this force did the venom-tailed woman stop. Pong! It was another unpredictable rod strike. Even though the golden-haired monkey and the muscular man with a wooden pole were doing their best to defend against it, the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, who could turn into a black, muddy river, was unstoppable. He once again struck the venom-tailed woman, forcing her out of the red light region. "We can't win if we don't kill him." The venom-tailed woman's voice was sharp. The golden-haired monkey, the muscular man with a wooden pole, and the other protectors of the ancestor mother religion were all anxious. Kill him. An order was given. They were the religious leaders who had been watching the battle. The venom-tailed woman no longer hesitated. She flipped her hand, causing a strange shuttle-shaped weapon to appear in front of her. This shuttle-shaped weapon had many complex patterns on it, and it was emitting a dark, destructive aura. The venom-tailed woman grabbed onto this huge shuttle-shaped weapon in a frenzy. An unseen power had already enveloped Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction in front of her. The moment it enveloped him, the surrounding world would be sealed. Dongbua Ying, Devil Phoenix, and the others revealed looks of anxiety. They could sense that the Great Destruction Land could not be teleported in that region. Retreat. Monarch Hex Cricket had always been following Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. At this moment, he roared and rushed in front of Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction immediately dispersed his body, turning into a black, muddy river as he tried his best to escape in all directions. "It's useless." The venom-tailed woman's eyes were cold. Pong! The shuttle-shaped weapon abruptly emitted countless violet light spots. These violet light spots turned into a vast violet light pillar that bombarded the body of Monarch Hex Cricket. Even though Monarch Hex Cricket's body was tough and filled with endless life force, it was still rapidly dissipating at this moment. He sighed inwardly. That time in the sixth heavenly wheel, his soul was destroyed by this weapon. Fortunately, he had comprehended a Tao, allowing him to survive. Hong, hong, hong. The violet light pillar once again bombarded the escaping black, muddy river. These violet light pillars seemed to have spirituality as they scattered and wrapped around every single black, muddy river. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's face could be vaguely seen amidst the black, muddy river. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction sighed inwardly. He knew that the moment he used this unique treasure, his ability to survive would greatly increase. But in the past, Monarch Hex Cricket had been exterminated by the ancestor mother religion. Could he survive by relying on this unique treasure? For the survival of his race, he brought this unique treasure with him to battle. Indeed, I can't hold on. I knew it would be like this. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction sighed inwardly. Countless black muddy rivers were being engulfed by the violet light pillars. The second watch. There was still a third watch today. It was agreed upon yesterday. Star. Chapter 732. Although the Emperor of Great Destruction had turned into black mud, he was still engulfed and annihilated by the purple light pillars. In the end, all that was left was a palm-sized black beast statue. The venom-tailed woman's tail turned into a stream of light and instantly wrapped around the statue. Only then did the purple light pillars slowly dissipate. Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and the others fled far away, watching everything silently. It is said that it is difficult to find the true body of the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. He must have relied on that treasure. Dongbua Shui Ying mumbled to himself. After turning into a pile of black mud, his aura and karma would disappear. Not only that, his survivability would be boosted tremendously. This was indeed a valuable treasure. It was a pity that terrifying shuttle-shaped weapon was indeed too powerful. It was able to destroy Monarch Hex Cricket's undying body. At the same time, it also destroyed Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's black mud body. Even his unique treasure was taken away. Is there really no other way? Dongbua Shuiying was not willing to see that happen. Artifact Spirit, if I were to use the Black Gourd, would the owner of this primal chaos flying ship, Guqian Luo, suffer from any mishaps? Dongbua Shuiying asked. You don't have to worry about this. Firstly, this Guqian Luo's injuries are indeed extremely severe. Once he is chosen as helper, I believe that he will quickly fall back into a deep slumber. Secondly, what kind of existence was the Void Walker? The protective treasure that he refined for his descendants was extremely secretive. Unless he met an existence on the same level as the Void Walker, otherwise, a mere ruler rank Guqian Luo would definitely not be able to discover the true secret of the Black Gourd. He would only think that it was a powerful treasure similar to the shuttle-shaped treasure, and he wouldn't care too much about it. In fact, even if he tried to snatch it, he wouldn't be able to. I can easily return to the world where your disciple, little Cheng Chi, is. However, I have to remind you that you haven't refined the Black Gourd yet. Using it once will severely injure you. You can only use it once. You must find the right opportunity. The price of failure is very, very high, the artifact spirit reminded. Dongbua Shuiying understood this as well. I will find a suitable opportunity. Dongbua Shuiying replied. Help me keep a lookout as well, because there was only one chance. He had to be cautious. In the starry sky outside the primal chaos flying ship, the 10 sovereigns watched from afar. Bloody Ruler Nile said in a low tone, Great Destruction has always kept it a secret. The treasure that could conceal his true body should be that strange treasure. It's a pity that he still died after using it. Even that treasure has landed in the hands of the Ancestor Mother Religion. The Ancestor Mother Religion has also used that terrifying weapon. Primal Master said. Bloodblade watched silently. His eyes were very sharp. One could see that the forging of the shuttle-shaped weapon was extremely complex and mysterious. It also had high energy requirements. Under normal circumstances, it would require a Dominator rank to inject energy into it. Those protectors from the Ancestor Mother Religion should not have enough energy in their bodies because that venom-tailed girl did not infuse any of her energy during the previous battle. Furthermore, this treasure had always been hidden and hadn't been used. Even after so many top-notch protectors had died, he still hadn't used it. When the Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction blasted him out of the red light zone, he had no other choice but to use it. Obviously, after using it once, it would be troublesome to store it again. Since I've used it once, I probably won't be able to use it again within a short period of time. Bloodblade thought. Furthermore, Great Destruction has used his full strength and can no longer obstruct them. I can only use my final move. Victory or defeat, it would depend on fate. Bloodblade thought. He then transmitted an order. Mysterious North, do it. When mysterious North Imperial Empress heard the order, she immediately held her breath. She knew that this was the most crucial moment. Devil Phoenix, Bamboo Mountain, Hua Chung, Ripple Lady Planet Master, Brother Chung E, mysterious North Imperial Empress, immediately transmitted to the other 8 paragons. And when Devil Phoenix, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, Paragon Hua Chung, Ripple Lady Planet Master, and the other paragons heard the transmission, they understood what was about to happen. They were already prepared for it. With the help of Devil Phoenix, mysterious North Imperial Empress, and a total of 9 paragons immediately gathered together. Furthermore, a huge circular stone plate appeared beneath their feet. This stone plate was covered with incomparably complicated patterns. Mysterious North Imperial Empress was at the center, and the other 8 paragons were scattered around the 8 directions of the circular stone plate. They had long obtained the array of this circular stone plate, and had deduced it in the dark under the 10,000 times faster time flow. The 9 of them were either apex paragons or those who specialize in arrays, and they were all personally appointed by Bloodshed God Emperor. This is the 3 holy protectors and other protectors from the ancestor mother religion who had already returned to the red light region noticed this scene. In the distant sky, mysterious North Imperial Empress and the other paragons stood in midair. The numerous patterns on the circular stone plate beneath their feet lit up. Golden patterns appeared in the void. The patterns were constantly fusing together, forming a huge black maelstrom. Mysterious North Imperial Empress and the other 9 paragons stood on the stone plate. They were at the core of the entire black maelstrom. The black maelstrom was grand. It covered a vast area, and its power caused the expressions of the protectors to change. Wong, he teleported. The huge black maelstrom appeared within the red light zone. It completely enveloped the surrounding 500 kilometers. The 3 holy protectors and the other protectors were all within this maelstrom. The protectors could feel the terrifying, tearing force of the maelstrom acting on their bodies. Some of the apex protectors felt their skin gradually tearing apart, causing their expressions to change. The black maelstrom was cold and emotionless. The circular stone plate at the core was emitting an ancient aura. This was a treasure that Primal Master had, but Bloodblade had once studied it and comprehended a slightly more unique array. As long as this array was slightly modified, it could be controlled by 9 paragons. What if it was controlled by just 1? The requirement for one's realm was too high. It was hard for paragons to do it. At the very least, mysterious North Imperial Empress, who had the highest realm and array, could not do it alone. Once the 9 paragons activated it, its power would be displayed. This was a most ruthless move that Bloodblade could execute. He had no choice since the foundation of the cultivator cosmos was weak. The apex protectors were trying to escape, but the power of the black maelstrom was too great. Their bodies were gradually being torn apart, and they could not escape from this tearing force. Die! Mysterious North Imperial Empress was cold. She was controlling this black maelstrom. Damn. I can't use that supreme treasure to deal with Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction for a short period. The Venom-Tail Girl and the other 2 holy protectors were anxious. They were doing their best to struggle, yet to no avail. The bodies of the apex protectors were being torn apart. Their bones were breaking. All of them revealed looks of anxiety and unwillingness. Protector Qian, you must win. We must win. For the sake of our entire race, we must win. Kill all these cultivators. Kill them all. Let this place become our cosmos. The apex protectors were roaring. They were not afraid of death. They were only afraid of failure. Because if they could not get the primal chaos flying ship, the chances of winning the war would be very low. Amidst the roars, the bodies of the apex protectors were being torn apart. The golden-haired monkey wanted to keep his companions into his Eden treasure, but the space engulfed by the black maelstrom was being torn apart. Under this terrifying power, the Eden treasure could not absorb anything from the outside world. We are about to win. Dongbo Shui Ying and the others were watching excitedly. The apex protectors were dying one after another. Injuries were gradually appearing on the bodies of the three holy protectors, the golden-haired monkey and the muscular man with a wooden pole. Only the venom-tailed girl was unharmed, but she could not escape from the power of the black maelstrom with her current strength. Kill them all. If there's only one holy protector left, it will be much easier for us paragons to kill him. Dongbua Ying and the others were looking forward to it. At the core of the black maelstrom, on the stone plate, mysterious North Imperial Empress and the other 9 paragons were controlling it. We must win. Our clansmen have to survive too. We cannot lose. The roars of the apex protectors could be heard coming from below. This roar reverberated by their ears. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master listened to this voice. He looked at the figures below. They were all familiar figures. Ancestor Mother? Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master thought. Deep within his memories, there was a beautiful memory. He lived with his parents, younger brother, and younger sister. He became the hero of his nation, becoming stronger and stronger. He was a cold and powerful warrior. Over the long years, he stood at the peak of that cosmos. He was one of the apex protectors of the ancestor mother religion. Nevertheless, his hometown cosmos had entered its final stage of collapse. For the sake of survival, they followed this stable cosmos passage and arrived here. He did not care about the dangers and chose to reincarnate. After reincarnating, he lived a peaceful life in the mortal world of the material realm. He had his parents and loved ones, a teacher and senior disciple brothers. He also had brothers of life and death. He gradually grew up. He comprehended the law of the world. Because he had awakened his memories after becoming a deity, he had the memories of his previous life as a protector. His cultivation angle was even more unique. He had opened his Tao when he was a stage 4-world deity. He had never contacted the ancestor mother religion. Over the long years of cultivation, he felt that he was part of this cultivator cosmos. Bloodblade treated him well. He did his best to help him break through to the ruler realm. Dongbua Ying, Peng Yi, and the others treated him sincerely too. He also had many good friends from Forefather Fierce Tyrant. His Majesty, Peng Yi, Fierce Tyrant, Dongbua. I do not have many friends. I am afraid of making friends because I am afraid that this day will come. I wish that I am part of this cosmos, but I am ultimately, I belong to the ancestor mother religion cosmos. If I have to make a choice, I can only choose the hometown where I was born and raised. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's eyes were faintly sparkling, but it evaporated in an instant. He extended his right hand. His palm was like a blade as it pierced into the body of Ripple Lady Planet Master. Ripple Lady Planet Master, who had always been focused on refining, had an ordinary body. She could not resist this strike from Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. Her chest was directly pierced through. Ripple Lady Planet Lord turned to look at Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master in shock. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master looked at her, calmly looking at her. The destructive lightning in his palm directly shattered Ripple Lady Planet Lord's body. Her body turned into ashes in front of Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Chapter 733. In the starry sky outside, the primal chaos flying ship, Bloodblade was originally filled with expectations. He had already seen hope. He was even saying, fortunately, Great Destruction did not hesitate to force them to use that weapon. Now we have indeed one. Just as he said that, his expression turned pale. He looked in disbelief at what was happening within the primal chaos flying ship. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's right hand had mercilessly pierced through Ripple Lady Planet Master's chest. Ripple Lady Planet Master's body had turned into ashes under the destructive lightning. Damn. Bloodshed God Emperor let out a furious roar. Traitor! Primal Master's face had turned red, and his body was trembling. At the same moment, within the territory of Bloodshed God Palace, Violet Bamboo Sea. This was where Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master cultivated. Within the Violet Bamboo Sea, Countless bamboos were moving along with the wind. A violet-robed male was currently standing with his hands behind his back, watching this violet bamboo see silently. His long and narrow eyes were calm. Oh, a terrifying aura descended. The violet-robed male, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, turned around. He saw a crimson-robed figure that resembled a blood cloud, Bloodblade. Bloodblade's eyes were currently filled with killing intent that caused the entire world to change color. He was emitting a terrifying and ruthless aura that was beyond that of the mysterious master of the primal chaos flying ship, Gu Qianluo. His killing intent had already engulfed the entire violet bamboo sea. Even Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master could not help but feel his heart trembling under this killing intent. "Your Majesty," Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master said, "the 9 paragons controlling the arrays were all appointed by me. I truly did not expect. Bloodblade's voice was filled with rage and hatred. He hated the traitor in front of him and hated himself. "I have let down, Your Majesty. I have let down," Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master said. "Die!" Bloodblade furiously roared. His eyes were filled with killing intent that was as sharp as a blade. Following his angry roar, Yi Futian's expression changed. Hong hong hong. An unseen energy erupted. The entire violet bamboo sea trembled. Following that, it completely disintegrated. Even Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, who was originally standing in the violet bamboo sea, had his body completely disintegrated. At that moment, everything within a range of 1,000,000,000,000 kilometers was disintegrated and annihilated, leaving nothing behind. Even if you die 10,000 times, you won't be able to atone for your sins. The Bloodblade's formless killing intent continued to spread out, filling the area for billions of kilometers. "You betrayed your entire race. I misjudged you. I'm really blind." Outside, Bloodblade was enraged. His true body within the Bloodshed God Palace immediately went to kill the body of Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. Within the inner world of the Chaos flying ship, the venerables on the side of the cultivators were also stunned. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. This was a war between 2 races in the universe. Both sides had no way out. The moment the ancestor mother religion erected their sacrificial altar, countless mortals and sentient beings would be exterminated. Even powerful experts would be expelled out of this cosmos. They would not be able to survive. Even the evil venerables of the Dark Abyss had never thought of betrayal. Bamboo Mountain. Mysterious North Imperial Empress, Paragon Hua Chung, Water Devil King, Purgatory Great Commander, and the rest let out angry roars. Bamboo Mountain. Donghua Shuang also roared out. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Even though he was slightly suspicious of Bloody Ruler Nile's combat power through the Black Gourd, he trusted Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. He would never have thought that this usually proud and aloof male would rely on the ancestor mother religion and become a traitor. He and Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master were the only 2-stage, 4-world deities in this cosmos epic who had opened a Tao. The two had always had a good relationship. Amongst the Paragons, those who could be considered friends were Paragon Hua Chung, followed by Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. Ha! The protectors of the ancestor mother religion who were originally in the Dark Maelstrom, the 3 holy protectors, and the remaining 5 apex protectors who had powerful bodies, revealed looks of joy. The golden-haired monkey even laughed out loud. Because of the betrayal and death of the 9 paragons controlling the array, this complex array immediately dissipated. The injuries of the 5 apex protectors were rapidly healing. Who? The dark green crystal on the venom-tailed lady's glabella suddenly lit up. Her tail flashed and was already hundreds of miles away, coiling around the ancient circular stone plate. At the same time, the tip of her tail pierced into the bodies of the 2 supremacies controlling the array. The demon phoenix supremacy finally reacted. With a thought, she brought the other supremacies and quickly teleported away. The sneak attack of the venom-tailed girl was too fast. That time, Her sneak attack had injured Dongbua Shui Ying and caused the deaths of Purgatory Great Commander and Bitter Cultivator. And those were ordinary sneak attacks. Now that she activated the Jade Green Crystal on her glabella, her speed was much faster. Haha! Even though the Jade Green Crystal on her glabella was completely consumed, the venom-tailed girl still laughed. Her tail had already coiled around the circular stone plate and brought it in front of her. With a thought, she kept it into her Eden treasure. Unless your clansmen want to live, can you exterminate the entire cultivator race with a clear conscience? Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master remained expressionless. Yes, I have let you all down, but I have to make a decision. Let you down? Is there any use in saying that? Purgatory Great Commander coldly said, if you say you are sorry, do you think that the countless beings that will die will be revived? Move. Following a furious roar from mysterious North Imperial Empress, all the paragons charged over. Chapter 734. Bamboo Mountain, prepare to die for me. Paragon Hua Chung transformed into a dazzling flame streamer and charged straight at Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's expression turned cold. He was a paragon after all. Even though he was hesitant when making his decision, deep in his heart, he was still biased towards the ancestor mother religion. Since he had made his decision, he would not regret it. He was a member of the ancestor mother religion. As for the cultivator cosmos, they were his enemies. With just you, Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master faced him coldly. Protect Guardian Plum. This is Guardian Plum's last body. He hasn't returned to our hometown ever since he reincarnated to hide his identity, so he doesn't have a powerful body. The golden-haired monkey transmitted to his comrades. The cultivation system of the ancestor mother religion had a high requirement on resources and environment. Even though Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master knew of the cultivation system of the ancestor mother religion and had access to resources, he had never been to the ancestor mother religion cosmos after reincarnating. Hence, his body could not compare with these protectors. Don't worry, Guardian Plum has made a great contribution. The protectors were all excited. Kill. Dongbua Shui Ying, Water Devil King, Purgatory Great Commander, and the rest were in a frenzy as they fought with all their might. As for the mysterious North Imperial Empress, she was also using her array to assist. Rumble, the two sides fought fiercely. However, the situation on the battlefield was very clear. The cultivators were at an absolute disadvantage, because the cultivators had lost too much of their top combat power. Silent Destruction had been killed before, and now, he hadn't cultivated a new clone to rush over. Monarch Hex Cricket had been killed previously, and his new body had yet to appear. On top of that, the Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master had defected to the other party. While the Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master had lost a top-notch venerable, the other party had gained a top-notch venerable. Therefore, there was a huge gap between the two sides in terms of top-notch combat power. The other side had a total of 3 holy protectors. Pung. The Purgatory Great Commander's body was directly torn apart by the golden-haired monkey. The bitter cultivator's chest was once again pierced by the venom-tailed woman's stealthy tail. Paragon Huicheng was also killed by the venom-tailed woman. Although Dongbua Shui Ying and the others were fighting with all their might, but other than him, the Water Devil King and the White Sovereign King, the others were all killed. The 3 holy guardians were simply crushing them. As for ordinary venerable ones, there was no need to even mention them. Even if I lose, I have to kill a few more of them. The paragons were still roaring before their deaths. They were all unreconciled. They had lost this time, and victory was right in front of them. Who would have thought that the Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master, who had a high status and was highly trusted, was actually a traitor? Kill. Monarch Hex Cricket's new body was finally formed, but he was only good at preserving his life. Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction finally arrived. However, when he arrived, the golden-haired monkey only needed to shoot out a golden beam from his eyes to heavily injure him. The other 2 took the opportunity to kill him. There was really no hope. Within the vast palace hall of the ancestor mother religion, the group of religious leaders were watching the scene that appeared in midair. They were watching what was happening within the primal chaos flying ship from afar. They were all incomparably excited. Ha ha! I never expected that Guardian Plum would still be alive. He succeeded in his reincarnation. The Fanged Sect master roared with laughter. Moreover, he was extremely careful, never exposing himself. Not even I knew. This time, he took action at the most crucial moment, leaving the cultivator's side without any hope. Their race should be exterminated. This cosmos will belong to us. With the primal chaos flying ship, we have won half the battle. The rest will be much easier. Different from the excited and joyous mood of the religious leaders, the 10 rulers outside the primal chaos flying ship were silent. Bloodblade, Primal Master, Abyss Primogenitor, and the others were watching the scene within the primal chaos flying ship. They were watching the Paragons fighting. Time passed. Every breath of time might seem long to the powerful existences, but in reality, it was still mercilessly passing. The name list is decided by me. I have judged wrongly. Bloodblade's voice was calm. Bloodblade, much less you, even we would not have thought that Bamboo Mountain would be from the ancestor mother religion cosmos. He has clearly cultivated since the birth of our cosmos, and has karma with us. How could he be from the ancestor mother religion? Unless he has seized his body? Or is it something else? Primal Master softly shook his head. Temporal Island Lord watched with a cold expression. We lost. The Paragons have lost. The ancestor mother religion will most likely be able to borrow this mysterious primal chaos flying ship. This war is over. Even if it is over, we have to fight. Myriad God Palace had said. Even though the Paragons have lost, they have done well enough. Empress Qian, he sighed. Bloodblade watched calmly. He watched as the Paragons disregarded everything. They had to kill one more protector from the ancestor mother religion. He then said, they have done well enough. The rest is up to us. They were sending themselves to death. The avatars that the Paragons had just refined rushed over. They were also sending themselves to death. When Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction appeared previously, everyone still had a strand of hope. But the 3 holy protectors from the ancestor mother religion did their best. The golden-haired monkey did not hesitate to shoot out golden light from his eyes to heavily injure Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Following that, he worked together to kill Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction. Without his strange treasure, Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction's survivability was much weaker. The moment he died, the others would have no more hope. 8 breaths of time, 9 breaths of time. There were only 5 Paragons left alive. White Sovereign King, Dongbua Shuang, Water Devil King, Monarch X Cricket, and Devil Phoenix. There were only 5 of them left. Even mysterious North Imperial Empress, who specialized in arrays, was killed. Oomph! It's pointless for them to struggle. Well, what if they can hold on for another breath of time? The protectors from the ancestor mother religion were too lazy to take the initiative to attack. They formed a circle, with the 3 holy protectors emitting an unseen ripple to protect everyone. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master was also in the center. Without the support of arrays, Dongbua, Shui, Ying, and the others could not even kill a single protector. That unseen ripple could resist against Dongbua, Shui Ying's Mirage World and Devil Phoenix's domain. We've lost. Water Devil King sat down on his butt. He lowered his head. We're about to win, just because of Bamboo Mountain, White Sovereign King stopped. His laughter was somewhat desolate and deranged. Devil Phoenix stood in the distance without saying a word. Monarch X Cricket sat down cross-legged. He sighed. All of them felt sorrowful. Were they going to lose? If the ancestor mother religion could use the primal chaos flying ship, could the rulers resist against it? Would the countless beings in the cultivator cosmos be exterminated? Would they, the transcendents, die? Do we have to make the final gamble? Dongbua Shui was still standing. He looked at the group of ancestor mother religion protectors from the other cosmos before turning to the Paragons who were in despair. Even his teacher, Bloodblade, and the others did not transmit any more messages. Had they given up? I only have a single gamble. Dongbua Shuiying walked over step by step. Dongbo Shuiying is still heading in this direction. The protectors of the ancestor mother religion looked at Shuiying with shock, as if they were looking at a fool. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master also looked over with doubt. He hasn't given up yet? Who can he kill under the domain of the three holy protectors? The protectors treated Dongbua Shuiying as a madman who was unwilling to admit defeat. Dongbua Shuiying walked over step by step. I only have a single gamble. I can't afford to lose. I'm worried that the ancestor mother religion still has some hidden techniques. I've been waiting for them to use up as many techniques as possible, but it's already the final moment. The venerable ones are giving it their all, using all their strength. Then, let's begin the final gamble. We might lose. Let's see fate. Dongbua Shuiying stopped. He looked at the group of ancestor mother religion protectors and also at Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master. He extended his left hand, taking out a black gourd. Following that, his right hand calmly pulled out the cork of the gourd. Oh! Chapter 735. The protectors of the ancestor mother religion were all excited. They were silently counting down to the final breath of time. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master watched as Dongbua Shuiying walked over. He shook his head inwardly. He hasn't given up yet? Dongbua Shuiying is the most outstanding cultivator in this cosmos. Indeed, he won't give up until the final moment. It's a pity that the outcome has already been decided. Suddenly, Dongbua Shuiying, who was walking over, extended his left hand. A black gourd appeared in his hand. He then casually pulled out the cork. Not good. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's expression changed. Be careful. The golden-haired monkey, the venom-tail girl, the muscular man with a wooden pole, and the other apex protectors might not know what the black gourd was. But at this juncture, everyone could guess that this black gourd was definitely extraordinary. Oh! A vast and unblockable ripple rushed out from the mouth of the black gourd. Countless black ripples stacked on top of each other. After rushing out of the mouth of the gourd, they swept out in the shape of a fan. The ripples contained in the terrifying fireball, which was as powerful as the sun, were pushed out through the mouth of the gourd by the void formation of the black gourd. It swept out with a force that could destroy everything. It was not an attack executed by an expert. Instead, it was a ripple naturally contained within a terrifying celestial body like the sun star. The profoundness contained within could allow one to open their own Tao or even reach the ruler realm. This is the protectors from the ancestor mother religion revealed looks of terror. It was too fast. They were originally very close to each other, and the ripple from this black gourd could cover more than 100 million kilometers in an instant. They could not react at all, and this black ripple had already engulfed them. The vast ripple was like a black gale sweeping across them. Chi, the peak-level protectors, whose bodies were incomparably tough, revealed looks of terror. Next, their bodies shattered into pieces. Under the terrifying ripples, they were unable to maintain their bodies intact. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master was located at the center of the ancestor mother religion protectors. Even though the three holy protectors were protecting him, the ripples were present everywhere. Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's body was not specialized in survivability and could not compare to those apex protectors. Thus, his body crumbled in an instant. His true deity heart was also crumbling. His long and narrow eyes stared at the distant Dongbua Shuiying, looking at that black gourd that was spurting out terrifying power. To think that I would die in the hands of Dongbua Shuiying in the end. That's good. This was the only thought that flashed through Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master's mind before his consciousness completely disappeared. Ah! The huge man with the cane roared. He wasn't instantly killed. Instead, one could clearly see his body being torn to pieces. His flesh was pulverized, and his bones were broken. His roars couldn't even be heard because everything around him was being destroyed by the shockwaves. He could only hold on for a few more moments before he was similarly annihilated. The golden-haired monkey wanted to escape, yet he could not move under the influence of the dark ripples. His body was also gradually being torn apart. His fur was being torn apart, and his flesh was being torn apart. His ferocious expression was also being crushed. He could hold on for a few more moments than the huge man with the cane before he was ultimately annihilated. Not even a single particle was left behind. Only the venom-tailed girl was left. Her body was being torn apart the slowest. Wounds gradually appeared on her body. Every part of her body was as tough as a weapon. She wanted to escape, but this ripple permeated into every single part of her body, destroying it at the deepest level. She could no longer control her own body. As the deeper levels of her body were being destroyed, she finally dissipated with a boom. All the protectors of the ancestor mother religion were annihilated under the terrifying gray ripple. Not a single one was left behind. After all, the power of the Black Gourd was sufficient to tear apart the world membrane of Dongbua Shui Ying's disciple, Little Chung 7. This was also a protective treasure left behind by the Void Walker for his inheritor. Even though he could only use it for a short period of time, his soul wouldn't be able to withstand it if he used it again. But the power this time was enough to cause the expressions of rulers to change. They felt a dense threat, much less these protectors. Water Devil King sat there with his head lowered. White Sovereign King was still in a deranged state. Devil Phoenix stood there coldly. Monarch Hex Cricket was also sitting cross-legged in silence. They were all in despair. They had given up because a dense feeling of helplessness had already enveloped them. They could not see any hope. When Dongbua Shuang took out the Black Gourd, they could not help but look over. This is Water Devil King, White Sovereign King, Devil Phoenix, and Monarch Hex Cricket could not help but pay attention. In the past, Dongbua Shuang had never taken out the Black Gourd to battle, unless he was like Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction and took out some formidable unique treasure. That black, explosive, and misty ripple that made their hearts palpitate swept towards the protectors of the ancestor mother religion. The four of them watched in a daze. They saw the protectors from the ancestor mother religion being annihilated. Even Bamboo Mountain Prefecture Master was similarly annihilated. The three powerful holy protectors might be able to hold on for a while longer, but they were soon annihilated as well. Wherever this black ripple passed through, everything would be destroyed. The land and mountain ranges would turn into nothingness. Even the void was being torn apart, revealing the many golden array veined patterns behind. This power was beyond that of the terrifying weapons used by the ancestor mother religion in the past. Dongbua Shui immediately stopped operating the arrays of the Black Gourd. At that moment, the black ripple surging out from the Black Gourd disappeared. At the same time, he plugged the stopper. Waves of intense pain could be felt from his head. His true deity heart was currently permeating with black aura. This black aura was injuring his true deity heart time after time, but given how strong his deity heart was, he could still withstand it. As long as this black aura was gradually whittled away over time, he would be able to recover at a rapid pace. In the starry sky outside the primal chaos flying ship, the rulers and Bloodblade who had originally given up were thinking about how to deal with the religious leaders from the ancestor mother religion and this mysterious primal chaos flying ship. He was thinking hard on how to increase his chances of victory. But he was also vexed because his understanding of the primal chaos flying ship was too limited. It was hard for him to come up with an appropriate response. That is, Bloodblade and the other rulers might have given up, but they were still paying attention to what was happening within the primal chaos flying ship. Dongbua Shui stood out. He seemed to be unwilling to continue fighting. But when he suddenly took out the Black Gourd and pulled out the stopper, everything changed. The protectors of the ancestor mother religion were completely annihilated. Even the three holy protectors were killed. We won. We won. Temporal Island Lord could not help but exclaim. Empress Qian, he was in disbelief. How could this? The eyes of Bloodblade brightened. He could not help but reveal a grin. Who would have thought that Snow Eagle has such a strange treasure? Even though this treasure is slightly clumsy when used, and its attacks are too direct and lacking in transformations. Its power is great. Its power is great. Even we do not dare to receive it head-on. Primal Master nodded. They would most likely lose their lives if they were to receive it head-on, even though they said that they were happy and felt that this was a formidable, strange treasure. They did not feel that it could threaten their lives, because they were rulers and had grasped the Tao of the ruler realm. Even if they could not receive it, they could still dodge it. Once a Tao broke through to the ruler realm, there would be a qualitative transformation. Monarch Green had reached the bottleneck in 3 Taos in the past. He had fused them together perfectly, yet he could only fight against Bloody Ruler, who was deliberately concealing his strength. The Tao of the ruler realm was eternal. It formed its own laws and domain, and its words were laws. This was how powerful a ruler was. Thus, it was difficult for a paragon to fight against a ruler. The rulers outside were incomparably joyful. Within the primal chaos flying ship, Hex Cricket, Water Devil King, Devil Phoenix, and White Sovereign King were all exclaiming in delight. Donbua, even though Donbua Shui Ying felt waves of pain in his head, he still revealed a smile. They had won. At least there were no accidents. He immediately went to collect the treasures left behind by the protectors. After all, the strange treasures of Heavenly Emperor of Great Destruction, the ancient stone plate, and other treasures were all there. Fortunately, we are careful enough. A deep voice sounded, for figures appeared in the distance. The leader was a golden-haired monkey. By his side were 3 other apex protectors. You all. Donbua Shui Ying was startled. Why? Are you surprised? The golden-haired monkey sneered. This is a war between 2 great races. We have no path of retreat. If we lose, we will die, and our true bodies will die too. Naturally, we have to disregard everything for this war. Thus, not only our avatars, our true bodies have to come too. Currently, only 4 of us have come out. There are still many other protectors. However, we are worried that your Black Gourd will launch another attack. Thus, the few of us have come out to play with you. We are the first to die. I do want to see how many times you can use that gourd in your hand, and how many of our protectors you can kill. That you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.